without that the new YouTube vertical nonsense. That just doesn't
Yeah,
work.
it seems like it just doesn't.
Wait, what is it?
I tried it like 4 times now, and I cannot get it to work. So
I like how you had that on lock.
Yeah, it's because I went and
It was
found
like, hey, look at me. I have this.
True.
Oh, that is pretty good. That's pretty spectacular, actually.
Yeah. I forget what he
I
said, but he
wonder.
committed himself to like an unfortunate combination of positions that entails that he doesn't exist.
My entire interaction with him was me trying to explain to him why he's wrong about Quanta being wrong.
Oh no,
That was the
that
whole
was
thing.
bad.
Yeah, it was
He tried running
really
the um shit
he was doing
the
contingency
argument. But I asked him right away. I was like, "Oh, this you're just going to run the contingency argument." He's like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, all right, we'll run the argument." And the fucking contingency argument. I was like, "Okay, like what are we doing here?" And then he couldn't understand that the conclusion of his argument didn't end in God. I was like, "Listen, this is just like the Kalam. I get it that if I grant you these premises, like you can get to this conclusion that you need some kind of a prime mover, even though I told him why that's not necessary. I said, but there's no reason to think that it's a sentient acting agent. It could very well fucking be some fundamental force, like a field. And he couldn't grasp that because he was like, well, he goes, if it's a force, but it can do all those things and it's not sentient or an agent, then it's still a god. Like, no, the fuck it's not. God has to actually be an agent. And he couldn't wrap his mind around that.
And then he came into my live trying to, like, I brought him up because he was in the live chat because a week earlier he was calling me low tier, because of course he was. And I'm like, look, so you wanted to come in and, you know, defend why you're calling Quanta a liar, all this stuff. And so he comes with a textbook that I learned quantum field theory out of. And he's like, go look at the beginning of chapter 4. And I read the beginning of chapter 4 and it agrees with me. It's like he clearly just got it from ChatGPT or something, or Claude or Gemini or whatever.
That's what it is.
So it was exceptionally funny.
To be sure, just so I don't forget, Blitz, you can see the chats right now, right?
I cannot.
What the fuck?
I mean,
I have no.
Yeah, I cannot.
How?
We're not live on TikTok, are we?
Yeah, no, not on TikTok yet. I'm
Don't ask
not
me
even
how. I don't know how.
joking. Like an hour before we started to stream, I logged in as a co-host just to verify that I could see all the chats and send super chats to the screen. So I'm baffled as to why you can't do it right now.
I mean, if I refresh, it'll probably break. So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm gonna log in real quick to my like a secondary account and go into the studio and see if I can see them, because that's crazy that you can't see them right now after I tested 100 times. I can see them right now, Blitz. Look, how are you not seeing them?
I can show you. Look, I will show you my.
I didn't even have to check a box. Like they're literally just right there. This is crazy.
Nope, I got this. And here, as an example, here's what I'm filtering for.
You've got
that's from the whale, right?
You've got a filter in your
idea.
dollar box, Blitz. You've got a 7 in your dollar box. You're filtering.
Okay, well,
it
I
for
also
money.
don't see anything. I also don't see anything in the one that's not filtering for donos at all.
Well, all donos is filtering for 7. I don't see what your other one.
Okay, look, here's the other one. Here's the other chat box.
Okay.
Wait, so we can see the other people here, right?
Yep.
Interesting. Just
It's fine.
type.
We can fix it later.
We'll fucking fix it later. Okay. I have no idea why it works for me, but not you.
Wait,
can you see them, Ian?
Hold on, we probably need to kick them.
Do we?
I'll take care of them. Ian, can you see the chats?
Ian doesn't know how this software
Is
works.
it literally just Blitz that can't see the chats? Ian? Did we lose Ian?
Wait, one sec. Justin.
They are not, by the way. They can't. They
Look
can't
in
see.
Discord.
Yeah, I know they can't see anything. Our guests can't see anything.
Okay.
They're not in the studio. Only we get to see that.
Wait, but I heard my voice coming through their mic.
That's because someone had their speakers turned on.
I see. Okay. Sure. Whatever.
Okay, but the
hope
question
not.
is, Ian, can you see the chats? Is this
The
just
chats,
Blitz's
one
issue?
sec.
There should be a panel called live chats where you can see all the chats.
Ooh, it's very skinny. It's a very skinny panel.
Yeah. I can show you how to fix that, but are there chats in it?
Yeah. Prima
So it's just
facie,
Blitz.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Blitz, you
Okay.
fucked up your computer.
All right.
So, Ian, in the Discord, you'll see a picture. It's underneath the canvases. There's 4 bars with dots in them. You can drag those bars up and down to control the width of the columns.
Oh, I see.
So you can make the chats bigger and more readable. There are other methods as well. That's just the easiest one for now until I show you how everything works. Cool. And then, Ian, you should be able to click on the chats as well so that you can display them on
By
screen.
the way, apparently, regarding the tech issues, it's moved past mildly annoying to just humorous since it's every single week. It's like an ongoing bit.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. Also,
I don't
but
know
this,
if that's what we want to be known for.
well, the current moment, it looks like it just Blitz's chats aren't working, but we are rock and roll. Let me go
Let's
live.
not worry about it.
Yeah, it's not important. We're live. I'm gonna go ahead and get live on the TikTok. Oops.
Did my headphones literally just die?
Am I the only one
Okay, I'm
where
going
my
one
no
headphone-
matter what I
one
do
headphone
on
here.
TikTok Studio, when I go live on TikTok Studio, it still always automatically pops out the chat for me whether I asked it to or not. Am I the only one that has that problem?
It does it for me too. It's really annoying.
I
No,
turn
no,
that
no,
setting
it
off like
happens to me
every
too.
week.
I love
Okay.
Yep,
the
me too.
chat popping out.
Yeah.
So should we be getting 14 frames per second?
No.
Okay.
Are you
just
getting
checking.
14 frames per second? Because I
am,
I'm not.
yeah.
Only you are. It looks like. Ian looks good.
Looks
I
like-
look good.
Looks like
Blitz-
TikTok
All right,
is
well-
as well.
Yeah, Blitz. It looks like your
Oh.
looks like your camera or your connection shit.
Mine too.
No, you look crisp on my end.
On TikTok?
All right, something's wrong with my computer. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, TikTok. Ian and I look clean.
Ooh.
Hold on, I gotta.
It's just Blitz. Sorry, Blitz.
Oh,
Your computer's
hey,
acting
Justin,
up today.
it's your software. Your software's eating up like 80% of my
Holy.
CPU time.
How?
It's your software.
How?
What kind of computer are you running? How is it eating
I don't know, I bought it from
80%
some
of
guy.
your resources?
One sec. Let me see if it's happening on my end too.
That can't be.
There's like some sort of like processing leak.
Oh, it's not too bad on my CPU. It's like
No.
only 16% of my CPU.
Yeah, mine's
Yeah, it's using multiple cores on my machine, so I don't know why.
weird.
Do you have
Yeah.
parallel processing set up on the software?
Yeah. It just maybe your I don't know, your computer's not handling it well. Mine's doing great. And Ian's apparently too.
Let's do you know what your specs are?
I can restart my PC.
Nah, I think you just
Yeah,
got a
this
garbage
is
PC,
like
brah.
a new computer. It's quite good, but it's literally like 6 months old
But do you know
with like brand new parts.
that's fine, but do you know what the
One sec.
CPU is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, being new doesn't do a whole lot.
I'm pulling it up. Okay. Pulling it up. One sec. Pulling up HWMon.
Yeah. I got a shit
We can
ton of
monitor
resources left. Shit, my Elgato Wavelink soundboard's taking up more resources.
You guys
than
are using Chrome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
Oh
using?
my.
Are you fucking using Brave again?
Oh,
Jesus
Okay,
Christ,
so-
Blitz.
So Chrome is you're.
Oh my god.
I'm using Chrome.
Okay.
I'm using Chrome.
Wait, you got some
Okay.
weird VPN running? What are you doing over there?
No, I mean like OBS Studio is only using 0.5% of my processing power.
I'm worried about OBS Studio. What
Like
browser
this is
are you using?
this is a software issue, I think.
Yeah, what browser are you using?
I'm using Chrome.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all we need to know.
Wait.
Chrome is the browser.
Oh wait, is there a delay, Blitz? I think there might be a delay.
No, Blitz is just his feed is.
Hold
stupid
on,
slow.
I have the processor for you. It's an AMD. Oh, there might be. Okay, hold on.
Holy shit, there's a delay. That's like catastrophic.
Yeah, on Blitz's side, everything's backed up. Blitz, just log in as a guest. Just go to the guest link. Your PC can't handle the studio. I'll figure out what's wrong with your computer later.
All right.
Sorry, buddy.
All
You got
right.
demoted.
Yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying the troubleshooting.
Sorry about that. I've got TikTok Studio running and all of the live stream monitors and the software running, and I've got a shit ton of overhead. I don't know what's going on Blitz's side.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. And I wonder.
We can worry about it some other time, though. I ran it last night for fucking 10 hours while I was sleeping just to make sure there was no like leaks or glitches. Like if it ran too long, no problems.
Mm.
So it must be some weird configuration issue on Blitz's machine. But he's back. Let me put him in. I didn't give us a camera feed, but did you enable your permissions, Blitz, when you logged back in?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
He probably hasn't heard us yet.
I can hear you.
He will. Yeah.
So right now it's using less than 10% of processing power, so everything's
Yeah.
fine there.
Yeah.
I just refreshed, or I just actually I was using Chrome. I closed out of Chrome and I'm on Brave, but
Oh, why are you using? Just fucking get rid of
Chrome
Brave,
was giving me
bro.
trouble.
You're not mega. You
Chrome
don't
was giving
need
me
Brave
trouble.
browser.
I use Brave because I like ad blockers. Okay.
You use the Chrome-based ad blocking browser like
that's what Brave
Opera.
is. Brave
Oh,
is
Jesus.
Brave is Chrome based.
Oh God, Opera's been
It's a Chrome
in
fork.
business for like 30 years. They actually know how to do a browser. Okay. Well, you're a guest now. Sorry about that, Blitz.
No,
it
I'm not a
is what
guest.
it is.
I'm in Live Collab.
No, you mean on the studio?
Yeah, I'm in the studio.
Oh, you mean you
didn't-
just swapped browsers and it worked?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird. Okay, let me add you to the vertical canvas before I forget. Sorry about that.
Also,
This
I have a
is-
good
this is
processor. I
Brave
swear.
propaganda.
Apparently, you had an issue with your browser. I don't know. Nevertheless, I mean everything's good now.
It was like some sort of processor leak or something. Like some process wasn't being closed down. It was probably like an actual glitch rather than
It could be.
some deterministic behavior.
We'll worry about that later. Yeah, it's neither here nor there. But listen, please, Blitz, tell me you can see the chats now. Gretchen, thank you for the 666. Oh, Gretchen's behind. You still fucking.
I
can't
wish
see
I
this.
could.
Crazy. It is crazy that it works for Ian and myself, but not for you. But we'll worry about that later. Something's obviously you got some gremlins in your machine or something. Gretchen, thank you for the super chat, friend. It says, "Hey, Professor Dave, video response dropped." Well, I don't know what to what you're referring
Video
to.
response to what?
Someone please tell Neck2 on Vert. Okay, thanks. Bye. Love you guys. Well, Neck2, you heard it here. Apparently, there's a video you need to know about, and it dropped. Thanks, Professor Dave. And also,
Oh,
66
Professor Dave
from...
is a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
You don't know
Although-
Professor Dave?
I don't think he is a professor, just to be clear.
No, he's
Pretty
not.
sure.
He's a YouTuber.
Right.
Oh, at this point,
Right.
yeah.
Ma'am.
He was never a professor. He taught at a community college, I think,
I think that's the case.
as like an adjunct.
Olive says when Yahweh realized that he'd done what he'd done. Sorry, he tried to send his son to fix it, but even Jesus decided to Baal. Oof. Nailed it. I think he nailed it. That was a pretty good double joke, actually, Olive. I think you deserve a prize for that. I don't know what kind of prize we have to offer, but we'll have to think about that. The first prize is probably honestly going to be opening up the TikTok guest box, so Blitz, Ian, and I can join up and we can get a guest. But we do have one or two guests on the YouTube stream that have been waiting patiently. Thank you so much. Super appreciate you guys letting us work through that. It looks like first in line is going to be Jane, but Jane, you were the first in line, but you've got one red bar for your connection. Your connection's really, really bad. We need you to find some better internet before we can pull you up. I don't know if you've got a better connection somewhere.
Maybe
he's walking to another room now.
It'd probably be helpful if you turned your camera off.
Yeah, I can bring up just his audio. Yeah, we can. Jane, how you doing?
Hey guys, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Is it good? Should I turn my camera on, off, or?
Seems fine.
I mean, if it gets buggy because your connection's slow, we'll let you know, and then you can, turn your camera off. It should help.
Yeah, sorry about the internet, you guys. Yeah, I was taking my LSATs earlier today and it crashed because of the Wi-Fi. So.
Yeah. That's too bad, but
bummer.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean, what can you do, right? It's all karma.
Yeah. So Jane,
anyways,
have we talked recently, you and I?
Yes, we have. I had a different name, but I guess calling myself Jock didn't really seem right. And you can call me Adi if that works better.
Adi, yeah, your name was Jane Jock last time. So, Blitz Ian, Jane is that's not his real name. He's Janism is his religion.
I don't know anything about Janism.
So I was interested in.
I just know it's more based than like Christianity.
Yeah. I mean, so here's the deal. I've already talked to him, so I'm going to let y'all have the conversation with about Janism. And go ahead and start us out. The question we ask every week is, why do you believe in a God? Is there a good reason for your belief? Or is it just like, if it's just fifis, there's not much for us to debate about.
Yeah, so I guess I'm where Kant kind of is, in which I believe the only good argument for any sort of God or any sort of, metaphysical reality is the transcendental argument. In that I think without karma or as I, without karma or without some sort of God, you can't really establish meta logic, you can't establish causality and stuff like that. But I don't know, I really wanted to talk to Ian, which is why I hopped on, but
it's like a huge claim.
I
have no idea why that would be true. So you can't establish meta logic, and you can't establish causality.
Yeah, I mean, without some sort of metaphysical justification, how could you solve, Hume's problem of induction?
With a metaphysical justification. Naturalism is a metaphysics. Atheists are going to hold to some form of metaphysics, and atheism is compatible with a huge array of metaphysical options. So I could run through like a whole list of options for what an atheist could appeal to for this. So for example, you could hold that there's like some sort of structure to reality that's embedded within like difference itself, and that the abstraction of am I quiet?
Yeah, you're really quiet. I don't want to cut you off, but if you could turn your mic up a little bit.
Ian, I can turn your mic up a little bit. 1 second. Or do you have any gain on your mic, or do you want me to turn it up?
I could. Yeah. Oh, how about Justin? You turn it up on your side.
All right. I turned it up some. See if that's better.
Okay. Wait. So can you hear me? Is it better? Let me know. Let me know. Yeah.
He said it's better.
Much better.
Yep. So, I think the problem with this is that there are just so many different ways that you could be an atheist, that you could be, your metaphysical view as an atheist could be that there's some structure of reality, maybe it's difference itself, maybe it's some other structure, and that in virtue of having this structure, you can then get logic as just the abstraction of this structure, that things are going to stand in relations to each other in the way that things within the structure stand in relations to each other. You could hold that there are like primitive logical relations, that there's like nothingness as negation itself. That's a position that's held by, for example, Eric Steinhardt. You could even hold like really wacky positions. You could think that reality is like disposed towards aesthetic value, and that in order to have that, it would require like coherence, because it's like a more, I don't know, brought together, like a more together, like aesthetic display to have things that are coherent as opposed to incoherent. So there's just like a trillion different metaphysics that an atheist could appeal to account for this.
Yeah, I guess when I usually talk to atheists, right? Like they're usually in the same vein as Justin, in that they're just materialists, that they just hold to the material universe and nothing else. So am I safe in assuming that you're not like that then? Or
I'm
what are
probably
what are your
agnostic largely to these issues, but I just think that atheism is a better explanation than theism, and that atheism like definitely has the resources to account for these things, because
well, I don't
worst case
posit a
scenario,
creator
you can
god
just start
either.
positing things.
Sure, but I mean, I don't believe in a creator god either, right? I find that idea somewhat absurd. Um, but at the same time, I don't understand why these atheist explanations are better suited for accounting for the world than like an all-encompassing theory of karma is.
There's a couple of things to say about that. First of all, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that this seems to be a shift of the goalpost. That at first the claim was it's impossible to account for these things under atheism, and then the claim is shifted from it's impossible to account for them, and now the claim is something like, well, we give a better account of them, which is fine. We can discuss that. That's fine. I also have no idea. Would you want to go into more detail about what you mean by karma?
Yeah, sure. So, for us, I'm a Jain. So for us, karma is essentially matter that accumulates to our souls, and based on the amount of matter you accumulate, it then like actions in the world follow accordingly.
Sorry,
So if I
when you
have a
say
lot of good
matter,
karma in my soul,
when you say matter, you don't mean matter in the way that scientists say matter,
metaphysical
right?
matter.
What does
Okay,
it
so it's
mean?
like some sort
Sorry,
of
sorry.
metaphysical substance.
Just metaphysical. Yeah, some sort of metaphysical substance gets attached to our
Okay.
souls, right?
Okay.
And it comes in and comes out depending on the actions we do and the thoughts we have, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So,
Okay.
uh,
Um,
yeah, and so
how does
that.
that?
Oh,
Wouldn't that make
I'm
you a
sorry. Go ahead.
materialist?
I'm not familiar with that term. I'm sorry.
Materialist? If you're
Uh,
saying that it like
that
bottoms
that's
out in
not
like some sort of like
materialism though,
matter.
because it's metaphysical matter, right? So it
Mhm.
accumulates to our soul, but it's not in the observable universe. It's outside of the observable universe, uh, and so that, in my eyes, that is an amazing grounding, not only for logic but also for causality,
How does
because
that ground
with
logic at
this
all?
we know that there's sure. I mean, from the way I see it, right? Because we have karma, we can establish truth, or certain. We can establish truth, and through truth, we can
How?
establish. Sorry, yeah. So if if so, it's not just karma. It's the whole system. Maybe I misspoke there, but the whole system. I guess the way I would frame it is that it. I I guess I guess, man, I'm sorry, but in the system we accept that, we just assert the truth exists and these things exist, and
Well,
it
but
makes
then it's not a justification, right? I mean, like the materialist could say the same thing. Just in the materialist, atheist worldview, just assert the truth exists, right?
okay, sure. Sure, maybe I need to do a little bit more reading about that, but would you be cool if we stuck with just causality then?
Sure, that's
Yeah,
fine.
sure. How do you get
But
causality from your view?
I
Sorry,
mean,
go ahead,
also,
Ian.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that there's like a dizzying number of views of causality, and in fact, accounting for like giving a model of causality that theism is compatible with is notoriously difficult. In fact, none of the models of causation actually are compatible. I don't know if you believe in God or if you just believe in like karma, but
I don't
like
believe in. So I should say I don't believe in a creator God, but I do believe in God in the sense that there are beings in the world that are infinitely powerful, infinitely knowledgeable, or maximally powerful, maximally knowledgeable, and maximally good. But I don't believe in any sort of creator God, if that's what you mean.
Right.
but you
So
believe in
these
like
beings,
immaterial causality, right? Like you believe in like aspatial, atemporal causality.
Yes.
I don't think there's a model of causation that you're going to be able to give that fits with this. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe I'm like totally wrong about that. Is there like a specific model of causation that you hold to?
I, I mean, karma, right? Were you looking for something more particular than that?
Yeah, like what are the conditions for considering something the cause of something else?
Um, if one thing directly, if one is a direct consequence of another thing, but not just because, not just if we observe one thing happening after another. If we can prove that one thing happens after another.
Okay, so first of all, that's you probably don't want to say that because the immediate follow-up question is, well, can you prove that karma is the cause of these things? And maybe you can, that would be very compelling, but I would assume not. Um,
I mean, I'm not into proofs in so much as though I think all proofs lead to. I'd love to be schooled about this, but I think all proofs lead to Agrippa's trilemma, right? In some way or the
that's
other.
true.
That's why I believe that the best way to go about looking at paradigms and looking at systems is which system is the most coherent.
sure, but I think it's probably worth pointing out that if you're a coherentist, which is like you think that it's fine to hold like a variety of beliefs, and then we should evaluate beliefs not based on whether or not you can like justify it at like an axiomatic level, but whether or not like the entire worldview coheres. Like you should evaluate it as like one big unit. Um,
Yeah.
then all the logic stuff is completely out the door. Like there just isn't a problem
Same
for
with all
the
the
atheist
causality
accounting
stuff,
for
right?
logic. True. Yeah, very true.
Like the atheist will just say, yeah, like we have this sort of physical cause and effect relation when things occupy, or when fields occupy the same spatio-temporal event, then causality or then causation can occur, et cetera, et cetera. And you're going to find that that's internally consistent.
But in my view, there's a reason why those things happen, right? So with the theory of karma, there's a reason that one action leads to another. In the atheist worldview, you just merely observe one thing happening after another, and
No,
so
the,
what
the
you
reason is that these things occupy the same spatio-temporal location.
why does
That's the
that
reason.
matter? But
I mean, it's
my
it's a
what
coherent
I'm
it's a coherent explanation. That is why cause and effect happens, because these things occupy the same spatio-temporal location. And like you could say that, oh well, that's not a satisfying reason. Well, okay, that's like a subjective assessment. Maybe the karmic reason that you'll provide won't be particularly satisfying to us. But if you're just making a coherentist claim, then like how satisfying an explanation is doesn't really play a role.
I mean, I fail to. I guess like I could have a piece of paper and I write down in that piece of paper like, oh, like everything in this piece of paper is true, and um and the second line in the piece of paper is I ought to kill everyone. That doesn't like that is a coherent system, but that doesn't automatically give me like the moral,
Well,
right to
yeah,
just
that
go
this
out.
is one of the criticisms of coherentism, that like you can believe in arbitrarily ridiculous things and still hold a coherent worldview so long as you reject sufficiently many pieces of, data that generally people do accept.
Yeah.
So
Like if you
I
just bite all
guess
the
in that
bullets,
sense,
then
yeah, in that sense, then the system not only has to be internally coherent, but it also has to be externally consistent with the world we see around us. Would you guys agree with that?
I think that that's like a
Sure.
reasonable view. I know that there's one philosopher in UCSD who holds this view. Totally forget her name. Nevertheless, but yeah, I think that view. I'm largely agnostic to epistemology and like structures of epistemology, but this view seems like at least something that's worth considering.
So on that basis as well, the reason I believe my worldview is true, the Jain worldview is true, is because from the very beginning, from 2,000, 3,000 years ago, uh, Jain philosophers and our gods, our prophets, right, have revealed to us truths about the universe that we're only learning in the Western world through modern science just now. One would be Big Bang, another would be the theory of atoms, right? Another would be evolution. It doesn't describe evolution to a T, but we describe it's described as us coming from larger mammals.
Before we proceed to like the predictions, which it's perhaps interesting to talk about, I think that it's worth going back to what Ian was saying, that if you have these aspatial, atemporal things, the account of causation that you gave, that one thing is a direct consequence of another, that one thing follows another in sequence, just doesn't make sense for these aspatial, atemporal things to be able to cause anything. It's not really coherent.
So do you guys think that aspatial and atemporal things can have influence in this world?
No. Not in a causal sense.
I haven't encountered a model of causation that's coherent, but I'm sure atheism is compatible with it. But I don't know, prima facie, no.
Okay,
Like, what does it mean for there to be a sequence? What does it mean for there to be a cause and then an effect if there's no time, if it's atemporal?
Yeah, so the cause and effect isn't happening in an atemporal fashion, though. It's the karma is atemporal, but with, I don't know, Catholics have this term called created grace. I'm not sure what the exact English term would be for.
Wait, now I'm confused.
Karma.
How is karma atemporal if karma responds to events that happen in time?
This might be a bit of a long answer. I'm sorry, guys, but so like Catholics believe that God is atemporal and aspatial, right? But he still influences the actions of this world.
Well, that's just as nonsense, by the way.
Yeah,
That's the criticism there.
Okay, yeah, sure, but I guess what I'm saying is that through created grace, right? So are you guys saying that atemporal, material things can't create things that do impact temporal and spatial?
That's the claim, yeah.
I think that's a reasonable view, yeah. It's kind of incoherent what causation would even be.
Audio. It's so annoying.
But why would that be the case? Blitz, is it okay to call you Blitz?
Oh, wait, yeah, his headphones disconnected, I think.
So I'm struggling to understand why that would be the case.
Okay, so we can go through like some pretty like typical models of causation. Like there's Hume's model of causation, which requires, I think it requires both like spatial continuity, but notably temporal continuity. So then that one's just straight out the door. So, I mean, you're severing like the temporal connection, you're severing the spatial connection, and then you're kind of just left with like some brute fact that this produced that, and there's no clear connection for why it produced this thing as opposed to some other thing, and there's no clear way for determining that it caused that. I also think that there's this concern with causation that causes probably need to exist at the same time as their effects, and obviously it doesn't do that.
If you're saying that, I'm assuming you hold to an A theory of time? That time is linear?
No.
Well, but then what you said, so you hold to a B theory of time?
Yeah. This is one of the few stances that I feel pretty firmly about. The B theory of time is just definitely true.
Oh, okay. I would agree with you. But also what you said, it would only work in the A theory of time, right?
How so?
Maybe I definitely misheard you. But you said things need to happen in the same time, like they need to happen temporally, right? But that would only be possible
that's totally compatible with B theory of time. The B theory of time, so what causation is going to look like? Dr. Blitz, you have your headphones in, right? This fucking scumbag. He's gonna walk into the conversation.
Plugging them in right now.
So, yeah. So
he's scared of me. No, I'm not.
The account of causation that I think is reasonable to give is that causation happens when you have intersections of two things world line that leads to some sort of energy transfer. That things follow like they trace out like a specific path in space-time. And when two paths intersect in this space-time, and there's an energy transfer that happens, that's what causation is. But that requires them to be at the same time.
Okay.
Blitz, did you hear that?
Nope, I missed basically all of it.
Okay.
But I can hear now.
I'm gonna jot that down for later. I'm gonna look more into that. But so I guess, Ian, then what theory of causality do you think is the most compatible with atheism? If you could just like rephrase it.
I think I have no idea. I've read a lot of different views on causation. I think they're all compatible with atheism. You could look to views from people like Stephen Mumford and Rani Anjumlul, who hold to like a dispositionalist model where there are like these powers at the foundation of reality. Things have the disposition to behave in specific ways in specific circumstances, and they give rise to, effects. You dispose them to act, and then they act. And it like undergoes like a process. I like the model that I just told you about, where things intersect. Like causation happens when two things intersect in their world lines, where the paths that things trace out in space-time leads to some sort of energy transfer. There's like the counterfactual model of causation that I think has like something to it, although it certainly couldn't be the only part of causation. That they're like these counterfactuals, like had this not happened, then that would not have happened. And that's what causation is, because it's like the difference maker.
You could also just reject kind of an Aristotelian view of causation altogether and just be like a block theory foundationalist or something like this, where you say that causation is not a series of cause and effect, but rather it's just a set of constraints that constrains the way the entirety of space-time can be.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of the problem with like theistic arguments of this sort, which is just that the atheist has so many options available to them, whereas the theist is the one that's locked into really implausible options.
And the reason why it tends to be locked in that way is because the theistic philosophy tends to be constrained to like the philosophy of, depending on what theistic tradition, of course, the philosophy from like 2,000 or 3,000 years ago.
Well, I mean, certainly we are constrained by certain dogmas, right? If we're going to uphold our faith. But I guess I still haven't, maybe it's gone completely over my head, but I still haven't heard a good account of why karma couldn't necessarily be, and I know the goalpost shift is crazy here, but I haven't heard a good account of why karma couldn't be a proper accounting for causality.
And
it seems
so it's possible that you answered this question, but I didn't hear it because my audio died. But my question was, how could it be that karma participates in causality if karma is atemporal? Or how could karma be atemporal and respond causally to things that happen temporally? Maybe you already answered that question, but I just didn't hear it.
Yeah, so I guess in Gen philosophy, there's 6 substances that girdle the universe, right? And so karma is one of the substances, and material or pudgal is one of the other substances. And so the way these substances interact with each other is past like our observable bounds, but eventually the interactions come back. So everything we're experiencing right now is just matter. It's just pudgal, but the interactions happen outside of.
Well, right, but look, so what I'm trying to understand is like, so you say that karma is atemporal, which means that it's not participating in the timeline. It kind of just stands aside from it or something like that, right? So if it's not participating in the timeline, how can it distinguish between events, or how can it distinguish between when events happen? Because the karma, at least as far as I'm understanding from what you're saying, is that it somehow responds to like the actions that you take. You do good actions and you accrete more of this karmic matter. You do bad actions, you lose more of this karmic matter. So how, if it's not in time, how can it respond to temporal things? Like it's not on the timeline, so it's not like changing with respect to some underlying like timeline. So how can it do something when when something happens if it's not part of that.
Yeah, so I would say that it's not interacting with us directly, it's interacting with Pudgol or matter in a separate way, and then the matter is the thing that's changing in our
But
universe.
what causes it to do that?
Uh, what causes
Like,
it
what
to
does it
do that?
respond to? In what circumstances does it do that?
So I think it's just I think it's just objective. I think morals are objective. And I think when
Neck-breaking pivot.
No, I think that this is
oh
actually relevant. I actually don't think it's a pivot
I'm
because
Is it?
karma
sorry,
responds to karma responds to actions that are moral
I
with
see, I
like moral
see,
value.
sure.
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, I'm only talking good faith, I promise. But the way I'm seeing it is that whenever moral actions happen in the world, that's what karma responds to, which then impacts Pudgol, which is then what we see again in this world. So it's the cycle.
Okay, yeah, I think that maybe here's like a good question. Let's say that tomorrow I'm gonna go do a bad action.
Mm-hmm.
Have I already affected the karma? Like right
Yes.
now, is the karma affected?
Yes.
Before I've taken the action, the karma is affected.
Yes, because planning to do a bad action is an action in and of itself.
Let's say it's like before I plan to. Let's say tomorrow I start to plan a bad action and I don't plan this. Have I already affected the karma?
So at this moment you have no intentions of doing anything bad?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well then, n- I would say, in this very particular case, probably not. But if you're going to start playing tomorrow, it means you already have an internal predisposition towards sin or pop or whatever you
Okay.
want to call it.
Then
Which
I think the
affects.
argument against this is probably this. Karma changes, right?
Mhm.
Everything that changes is in time. Therefore, karma would need to be in time. The reason why everything that changes is in time is because if you have a change, you have the before state of the thing and the after state of the thing. And if you have a before and an after connected by this like relation, well, that
Yeah.
just is a time series.
So
So
Pudgol changes, and I'd agree with you there. And Pudgol is in time, or matter is in time. And karma doesn't change. It just it I guess it just impacts matter, right? And matter is the only thing we're interacting with, and that's what changes. I mean, maybe we're speaking over each other a little bit, but I don't see why karma has to change.
because you cause it to do things. It wasn't doing those things, and then you caused it to do those things.
But it's
So
the
it can't
creative
both be
grace.
like caused and uncaused.
Uh, uh, da-da-da-da. But why couldn't it be why I guess I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding why couldn't karma be uncaused, right, and then cause matter to have some sort of effect in this world. Karma
Is there
doesn't have
anything
to
that
change at all.
causes karma to cause?
Yeah, it's an eternal loop, right? It's an infinite regress.
Okay, so there's something that causes a so karma isn't causing the material because I don't intend the bad action. But then tomorrow, if I intend the bad action, karma would then start affecting the material. Is that correct?
The created nature of karma would, but actual karma is not interacting with the universe.
The
So
created
the karma is
nature?
Yeah, so karma is atemporal, aspatial, but it can influence matter, right? And the influences of matter are what we feel in this universe.
Does the
It,
way
it's
that
very
it
similar
influences
to
matter change?
uh, I wouldn't say so. I'd say it's only matter that changes.
It doesn't, I don't know, affect matter differently at different times?
No, I mean, not
So karma
from
is
what
just
I've read
one
of
steady
philosophy.
thing? So then me doing a murder wouldn't change my karma because karma doesn't
It won't
change.
change your karma, but in the universe, karma, because it's in the totality of things, it doesn't change.
So
but
karma
your
can
individual.
change?
Yeah, I
Like my
mean,
like can my
it's
is my individual karma aspatial?
yes. Your individual. It's like a bank balance out in another. It's like a bank balance outside of this universe, right? And
Okay.
it affects your actions inside, but only through the created actions of that bank balance. And
Then
as
this just
yours goes down, someone
links.
else's goes up. So the totality of karma is always unchanged.
This seems to just bite back into the problem from earlier that, okay, my karma is aspatial, atemporal. My karma changes. Everything that changes is in time. We have a contradiction.
Okay, I feel like we're still talking over each other. Would you be cool if we maybe pivoted towards the scientific evidences I gave earlier?
I mean, I don't have an objection to it. Like,
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah. And I would also say this isn't really an argument per se, and it's definitely a logical fallacy, but I guess the reason I really believe that God is real is because I don't know, it's because we have certain commandments that are really onerous, really hard to follow, and it makes no material or sociological sense why we would do them if it wasn't for objective moral truths, such as Jains are called to avoid the caste system, to eat a strict vegetarian diet, to avoid holding slaves, and at least in that time frame in India, it wouldn't make sense to do any of those things, right? But it's not an argument. It's just I think if God weren't real, why would we even do those things?
I thought we were going to
Oh,
talk about the scientific arguments.
yeah, it was
Oh yeah, we can
also,
talk about the science stuff too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking about what you want to talk about. I was
yeah.
just
You're gonna get a similar answer to last time, right?
We,
You know,
I
there's
don't think.
there's just a plethora of moral systems that an atheist could hold to
Mhm.
that would account for these facts probably way better
I
than
mean,
Jainism would.
okay, sure. We could talk about the evidences. I mean,
Sure.
yeah,
So,
by all means.
okay, I guess
so
which
what would you like me
specific,
to start off with?
yeah, which specific holy books do you, I don't know much about Jainism, but are there like specific holy books that you hold to?
Yeah, the agams, the Jain agams.
Hmm.
I don't know what those
Yeah,
are,
but
but
yeah,
so
they're.
so is the claim that there are is the claim that there are unexpected predictions found in these holy books?
Yes, I would make
Okay,
that
is
claim.
the claim that these are unique to these holy books?
I'd say maybe the Hindus and Buddhists have something similar, but sure.
So you mentioned the Big Bang. You mentioned something like evolution. What else did you mention?
Atoms.
Atoms. So,
Yeah.
as far as I know, Lucretius was the first to propose atoms in the Western world. I can't confirm anything about,
Hmm.
perhaps further east than Iran. But Lucretius lived around 500 BC, something like this.
Hmm.
No, he lived around 100 BC. So, is the claim that like there was some description of atoms that predates Lucretius?
Yes, I believe so. Let me.
Okay. Would you say that Lucretius was influenced by the scriptures that you're referring to?
I wouldn't know because there was a lot of knowledge transfer between ancient India and ancient Europe, whether the Greek, there was
Well,
a lot
Let's
of
this
trade
is
going.
let's this is a side issue, but I think Democritus predates him by
oh
like
no, I'm
400
sorry. You're right.
years.
You're right. It's Democritus, not Lucretius. Democritus, yeah. And he was around 500 BC, 400 BC or so. But the reason why I ask is because either the claim is that Democritus, rather than Lucretius, Democritus was influenced by these Jain scriptures, or
Hmm.
Democritus was also given this message by a divine, some sort of divinity, right?
Um,
If the idea is that the only way that this knowledge could be obtained is via some sort of divine nature, right?
I guess I guess I would hesitate to make Oh, I'm so sorry for that, guys. I would hesitate to make a claim like that, but I would say that so the philosopher I'm referring to is called Maharishi Kanada, right? And I'd say he was writing in the century BCE. So the way he describes the atom, I'd say it'd be unreasonable to think that he could have gotten this out of um, something other than divine inspiration. Let me put it like that.
So it's just not clear to me. Like, I mean, look, so Democritus was thinking about this just by thinking about like what it means for something to be made of stuff, and he came to this conclusion that there are these smallest indivisible things, and in fact, like that's where we get the name atom, right? We get it from Greek, atomos, meaning something like indivisible. So, it seems like that at least Democritus came to this conclusion without some sort of divine revelation.
I mean, this is kind of embarrassing, but you are right. Even though it was after, like, yeah.
Well, arguably, I mean, like it's hard to say. So and forgive me. I just looked up Canada, and it says that like we don't know exactly when he lived. Maybe he lived between the 6th and 2nd century BC. So like maybe he lived before Democritus. Maybe he lived after Democritus. It's hard to say, but it's interesting to say that there is some sort of atomism that's present in Eastern philosophical traditions. I didn't know about that, but it's not clear to me that this implies divine anything.
I guess you're right. They could have just been really smart. I don't know. Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
That's okay. I don't think that's embarrassing.
I was always taught that it was like surprising that we would know all these truths about the universe. And like I've read the scriptures myself. Like they seem remarkably similar. Like how they describe the Big Bang, how they describe the theory of atoms. But yeah.
I mean, like, look. So, what is the case is that like clearly. I mean, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page again. I haven't read the scriptures, but like the Wikipedia page is like it's if what it's describing is correct, then like these are actually some really deep discoveries is not the right word, because really deep intuitions or really deep ideas. It says, for example, he says that the atom must be spherical since it should be the same in all directions, or in all dimensions. Well, that's basically right. That's a really good intuition. He asserts that all substances are composed of 4 types of atoms, 2 of which have mass and 2 are massless. Well, that's not quite right. But like this kind of thinking is really deep, and it's impressive and fascinating. I just think that we shouldn't undersell the brilliance of humans, even if they lived more than 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Humans have been smart for a long time.
Well, also, I mean, if he's giving like a reasoning process for that, I'm not sure. Like, it kind of sounds like he's just a priori arriving at this information. It's not like he says, like, I think this is how atoms are. Source, God.
Well, but in the Indian tradition, right? You can't. You're supposed to be divinely inspired, but you also have to give an accounting for your claims about knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a public way of adjudicating those claims. But I guess. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess I kind of what I'm struggling with is why should I even be atheist though?
Because you have way higher prior probability. The worldview is way simpler. It convinces you to way less. Your worldview doesn't actually explain anything. You take like a huge hit in terms of like the simplicity of the worldview, and plus like your worldview explains things worse.
I mean, yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to take up any more of you guys' time, but I don't know. Just thank you for all the insights. I'm definitely gonna go rewatch this.
Yeah, of
Thanks
course.
for coming back.
Things are coming up.
Yeah,
We appreciate you.
All right, cheers, bud.
Yeah, we had a good faith.
Yeah, we had a really good conversation. It sounds, as far as I can tell, I think he's like earnestly trying to figure some stuff out. So, kudos to him. Nevertheless, friends, we've got a bunch of guests waiting to get in. I'm going to grab a couple super chats, and then we're going to get our next guest in here. I think we had a bunch on TikTok that loaded up during that call, so I'm going to grab some from TikTok, and then we'll go back to our YouTube queue. Hey,
Nice.
Olive, with another super chat, thank you, says, I don't need all that religion stuff. I'm a plain Jane. Listen, these jokes, all right, they're getting out of hand.
For what it's worth, Jainism is like one of the more based religions, just because it focuses on like peaceful action and it's something. The kind of thing that I've heard about is that like Jains won't swat a fly because they value life that much.
Mhm.
So that's like based and cool. And if you're gonna be any religion, be Jain, or at least that's one that you should consider.
Mhm.
True. Also, Olive, I'm joking about the joke. I love jokes. C-Bar, good to see you. Thank you for the $5 super sticker and also helping Mega deconstruct. Thank you so much. Queefing for Christ. That's wild, actually. Your life. What's up, Blitz? Past his bedtime last night? Ian, any thoughts
No,
on
I
Majesty
wasn't.
of Reason and Rock Hard for Doug's Hill of Shared and Horror's Rule? This is a question I've been asked like 3 times already. What do you think, Ian?
I have lots of thoughts. I have lots of feelings. It was kind of expect. Well, okay. I wasn't expecting. I was expecting him to come out as a theist soon. The writing was kind of on the walls, and it's been on the walls for a while. He's expressed like very sympathetic positions. He had a paper arguing in favor of theism that he was publishing currently, called like Psychonomic Harmony. I thought maybe he was. It was like a little bit unexpected. Well, okay. What was very unexpected was that he came out as just a full-blown Catholic.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was expecting him to become a theist, though. That's kind of on the wall. From the time that I've watched him, he's gone from like an agnostic to like an agnostic-leaning theist, who's like publishing works on theism, who's publishing, like theistic arguments. But to hear him say that like the miracle evidence was like the thing that did it, I don't know.
Weird, huh?
It's kind of a mind fuck because it makes me think that I should go back and relook at the evidence to make sure that I'm not missing something.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like either like we're all missing something brilliant, or he is less subjective than he appeared to be on his YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's kind of this thing where it's like, let's say all of the experts in like a field in the world were like, they just started saying like this nonsensical sentence and insisting that it meant something. I would probably raise my credence in thinking that maybe it does mean something. And I respect Joe a lot as like a thinker. So, I have very low priors in these arguments, and I've looked into into like the miracles, and I've looked into a lot of them, and they all fall apart like relatively quickly with like a couple like hard to account for pieces of data, but ultimately the best explanation always seems to be the naturalistic one. But I think he's a good thinker, so I might go and relook at the evidence to make sure that I'm not missing something.
I'm curious why, because they asked me, I'm curious why so many people are interested in our take on this. Like, are they suspecting
because
that
we're internet
like,
atheists? That's why.
we would change our minds or something?
Maybe.
Anyways, I don't fully
presumab-
understand. It's just one person.
Presumably they're like, hey, yeah, we thought that this was like a well-respected or like a serious atheist, but if he's been convinced, then like what's stopping you from being convinced? Something like that.
Fair. That sounds about right. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing his like 14-hour cumulative
watch
case
it?
for Catholicism. I'll watch parts of it. I'm curious. I'll probably watch James Fodor's 48-hour response video.
Pineapple, good to see your friends heading to the Renaissance Fair, so won't be able to join live. So take my money and I'll enjoy the replay later. Well, thank you, Pineapple. I hope you enjoy the Renaissance Fair. It's been a hot minute since I've been to one. I hope you get great weather and have some nice like chicken legs, like some ham hocks and some old school beer. Should be fun.
Was the last time you had one when you were like a child and still were interested in fun?
Yeah, I was probably about 5.
Okay, yeah, that checks out. I can't imagine that you've had fun since then.
No, I absolutely haven't had fun since then, for sure. As soon as I hit 6, it was nothing but business. Hey,
Right.
Allure Fuzz, Allure for us? I think that might be right. Thank you for the 66. Hey, Justin, can you talk about how hell is actually Hades and that it was all made up in the New Testament stoned for Doug? It's not quite that simple, my friend. If you have the cheat sheet, I do document this well in the hell tab. It was more of a progression. It really started out as Sheol, and all the people in the ancient Near East believed in it. They eventually adopted a more robust version from the Persians, and then eventually from the Greeks. So it wasn't like they just stole Hades. Also, they don't believe in exactly the Hades that the Greeks did. They don't typically take all the levels. Not all of them believed in Tartarus or like the river Styx. Not everyone had. The Jews definitely had a different idea of how you got there and how you got, if you could get out of it. So it's not a direct copy of Hades. They took kind of the popular culture around Hades, and they just kind of adopted a number of the pieces into what they already believed. But to be sure, the Greek Hades obviously played a role in the development of the Christian hell. But again, check out the hell tab on the cheat sheet. It should be super helpful. I've documented the progression there. Hey, Philodragon, great to see you, my friend. Thank you for $20 super chat. Good friends, I must get your thoughts on Joe Schmidt. Here it is, becoming a Catholic again, dude. Due to the alleged Catholic miracles, as well as fine-tuning and psychophysical harmony arguments. I think Ian addressed some of this. The miracles to me are nonsense. Even when I was a young kid in Catholic school, they did nothing for me. I didn't find them compelling at all. I get why some people would, but they didn't do anything for me, at least. If you believe the miracles, sure. If you don't believe the miracles, then obviously they're not compelling.
The other thing is that, like,
no.
It's not clear to me that he spent any time looking into non-Catholic miracles.
True. If
and that's
he had,
disconcerting.
He could have compared the two, right? He could have said, as it turns out, there's lots of miracles in like other religions, and I don't believe any of those. So, yeah, it is a little disappointing. It's just, anyone can be prone to failure of reasoning. There's nobody is. What's the word?
Like,
immune?
Look, I think that he's a good reasoner. It's just like, it reads to me like, I was born a Catholic and I was raised a Catholic, and then I became an atheist because of the problem of animal suffering, and then I became an agnostic, and then I became an atheist, and I started thinking about this, and then what are the odds that the one true religion happened to be the one that I was born into? Like, I don't know.
Who could have guessed?
It seems unlikely.
It was a return home.
I don't know. I don't know if that's
like, why doesn't this ever happen with anything else?
I think that might be unfair to him. I think that this is like a growing internet trend, especially like the Ethan Muse stuff. Ethan Muse has been on the rise, but
I don't know. Like, it seems like there are just as many people who are believers in one of the Dharmic religions, right, as there are Catholics. In fact, there's probably twice as many. So, like, the odds that he would, if we were just, if our priors for which of the religions were true was just based solely on population, then the odds of him finding himself in Catholicism is smaller than the odds of him finding himself in, say, one of the Dharmic religions. And so, if this were one of the Dharmic traditions, it's hard to call it a religion. And so he should have at least investigated this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there are some very compelling miracles from that have come out of India in the last 50 years. Like, these are recorded things that made newspaper headlines. Like, at least as compelling as like the miracle of the sun.
That's interesting. I don't know. Well, here's another problem that I have is that even if, let's say that there is some evidence that's really hard to account for under like physicalism, there are so many other views that are just way more plausible than theism. Like, I don't know. I think Kaliarchism, like the view that the world is just like disposed towards aesthetic value, is just like a way better view than theism. It has higher priors than theism because it posits fewer things. It explains all the data. It doesn't get like massacred by the problem of evil. Plus, I mean, even if these miracles happened, you could like plausibly explain these as things that have aesthetic value to them, or that there's like narrative value to the conflict that they drive. Like there's listening to his video, he was like, "Oh man, I read about this, and my atheistic, materialistic, subjectivistic, nihilistic, fucking like physicalistic worldview couldn't account for it. So I just had to become a Catholic." It's like, well, there are just so many other options there,
and so many other options, so many other theistic options too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's very weird.
Well, let's grab
it's
our
hard.
next.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, let's grab our next
Go
guest. We've got a bunch of people waiting to get on TikTok. I'm just gonna grab the one on top because I'm not sure who came in first, and we'll keep things rolling. Looks like it's gonna be Sunshine, if they can connect.
Let's grab our next.
Sunshine, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. Sunshine,
You guys can hear me?
Yeah. Are you at least 18? And do you believe in a god?
I am, and I do.
Okay. Which god do you believe in?
There might be a slight lag. It sounds like I've got about a 3-second lag on yours.
Yeah, your
When do you hear
connection
this?
is really, really bad. I hear crackles on your end.
Is that better?
When do you hear this?
Right now.
4-second delay. Can you get some Wi-Fi?
Can
Is
I
that
drop
possible?
down for a second and come
Yeah.
right back?
Yep, sure.
Sunshine. Oh, there he is. Pulling back up.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want me to tell you the evidence for a designer?
Please.
It's the DNA code. And this isn't something I
DNA
came
code.
up with. This is Stephen C. Meyer. I'm sure you've heard of this guy.
No.
See the difference, but here's the deal, Dustin. The difference
Did you
between
just call me
Dustin
Dustin?
and Stephen C. Meyer is Stephen C.
confused?
Meyer has a
Wait,
PhD from
who's-
Cambridge.
Who's Dustin?
I have a PhD.
But well, again, the difference between Dustin and Stephen C. Meyer is that Stephen C. Meyer went to Cambridge and Dustin did
Okay,
not.
well,
Hey, Dunshine, I got a question for you.
So
Why would
anyway,
God
so the
want
argument
DNA?
is
Okay,
so
he's gonna have
DNA's
like a little
DNA's
meltdown. It seems.
Yeah,
Not
he's already
interested in
melting
actually
down pretty
engaging.
hard.
the codes require coders. Okay, so that's
Wait, sorry,
that's
what
that
question?
is.
Wait,
You guys can
whoa,
look
I'm
it up.
sorry.
He wrote a
Whoa,
book
whoa,
called
I'm so sorry.
Signature of
I'm
the
so
Self.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
there
I'm
still
so
a
sorry.
delay?
What question did I just ask you?
I don't think there is.
I wasn't listening to you, faggot.
Oh, he definitely
Granted.
wasn't.
I
Oh,
grant
damn.
that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, what a tough
You know,
guy. Oh, and
Dunshine,
he
the way that I
bailed.
gave him the D.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't even know what to write down. Okay.
Like spawn kill.
Justin, I have updated the spreadsheet. Please just update in the spreadsheet that I sent you so that
Yeah. Well, I'll copy and paste them.
otherwise I have to copy and paste everything over.
Yeah, I'll copy and paste them over. Don't worry. Let's grab our next guest. Hopefully, maybe a real adult. It's hard to tell if these people are
Indeed.
real adults. But we'll do our best. Welcome in, Grace. Grace.
Grace?
Grace.
Is that
Grace?
the bath? Are you in the bath,
I-
Grace?
I think Grace is in the bathroom.
Grace, are you in the bathtub?
You should just kick her.
Yeah. Sorry, Grace. He's either in the bathtub or didn't mean to be here. All right, let's grab Brad. Welcome in, Brad. Are you at least 18?
Hey guys, yes, I'm at least 18.
Awesome. Fantastic. And do you believe in God?
So I believe that the universe is intentional. Let's say the creation itself is intentional. I guess the term God is very packed, right? And before I guess, or before we proceed with this conversation, I'd like to just lay down a couple of premises real quick, just so we're on the same.
I think premises
on the same
are part of the conversation, aren't they?
Yeah. So what I
wait before
Yeah,
we do you hold like a specific religion?
Okay, so I just want to lay down real quick some premises. I don't think
trolling?
that the prompt that you guys have. Sorry, what?
Are you trolling?
No, why would I be trolling? No. What I want to say
incapable of
is
answering a question. What religion do you hold to?
But that's okay. So that question, I can't really answer. I would say I'd hear more to the teachings of Jesus Christ, but I don't. Like I said, to answer your question, I first have to kind of give you my view and I guess my theory, on the nature of reality. So that's why I would like to lay my quick foundations, just so we're on the same page. Okay, so when you guys have a prompt which is God's not real, prove us wrong, just so we're on the same page, I already is quite rhetorical to prove you wrong, because of course I'm on the same page with you guys that it's impossible to prove, that God is real, and it's also impossible to prove that he's not real.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I think your God is actually quite easy to disprove.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay, I'd say then not necessarily a God, because I didn't tell you what God I believe in.
Okay, what God do you believe in? That'd be helpful.
Okay.
If you could tell us.
Okay,
that.
so then I guess second premise. I believe in hard determinism. I believe, but I guess tweaked. I believe in hard determinism, but a bit tweaked. I believe, the block.
Third premise. I'm a robust anti-realist. What we didn't ask. We super didn't ask. We just want to know what God you believe in.
But that's a very. This is a very narrow view.
Premise 4. I believe that Han shot first.
What?
What are we doing? I just want to know what you believe. Is there a reason why you're terrified to defend your God?
No, it's not. I'm not terrified. I'm telling you. I'm trying to explain to you what I believe in. If you want to listen to me, then I can tell you. Hello. Ian.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd just love to know what God it is you believe in. That's all.
I believe in hard determinism. I believe that's
not a God.
The block. I know it's not a God.
So then you're not answering the question.
Well, I think he's trolling.
I don't believe in God. I don't believe in a God or a creator.
Yeah,
I believe that the creation is intentional. But the creation is intentional. That's why I started off. That's what?
Well, good to know that we agree. We're going to move on to somebody that doesn't agree. Let's bring in Noodles, and we'll get another one. How you doing, Noodles?
Oh wow! Sorry guys, I didn't know that I had come up.
It's okay.
I'm just watching the show.
Forgive you.
Go ahead and drop me. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, cheers. All right, we'll get maybe a tap action. Also, I see Felix. I see you in the box again, and Felix, we've talked like 3 times now, and I care about you, but we're not going to keep bringing you back in the debate space, okay, my friend? I don't think you belong here, and I think maybe you should talk to some other people in the space. I'm not sure we're the people you need to talk to. So much as I appreciate you, you have to go somewhere else, buddy. Okay, let's go to our YouTube guest. We got a YouTube guest named Agnostic. Sounds like that's next one here. How you doing, Agnostic? All right, Agnostic. Are you like an agnostic believer, or are you you just don't know?
I would say I'm someone who says we can't know, but if you put me on a line of Christianity, I might be the edge of it. Like might be an open theist by some distinction.
That's kind of weird, because open theism is like a view about God's knowledge and time.
Yeah,
so
the future is unknown. Go ahead.
Seem to be much correlation.
Well, no, sorry, I kind of tangented on that, but and I can explain that. I think there's good things in the Bible. There's a lot of bad things. I think it's written by humans. It's extremely fallible. I think there could be a God, but we really have no way of knowing. That's my agnostic part. I think if there is a God, free will exists and the future is open.
Do you think that there's evidence for God's existence?
I don't think we have a way of testing it. So I don't think we can ever really go.
Okay. So there is no evidence. So you don't think that there's any evidence for God's existence?
Correct. And I do have something for Dr. Blitz, but we can talk more about this if you want.
Sure, I suppose.
Well, it's something more meaty. It's basically how bad certain apologists are with statistics, if you want to hear that. Because there's something pretty bad going on. Well, there's a paper called Why Name Popularity is a Good Test of Historicity. And I could send you, it's a stream IP did about 2 weeks ago. And in that, he says things like the p-value shows us that it's 83% accurate. He starts interpreting p-values as a percent accurate, which I think Dr. Blitz would know.
It's
In a
mistake.
goodness of fit test that has nothing to do with the accuracy.
But,
like to say it's 86% accurate.
But okay, so
go ahead.
But it's look. This is an interesting conversation, but it's not the place to have it.
Understood. Would you mind if we talk just a tiny bit about Fatima? That kind of came up, or I can leave if you like.
Do you think it's convincing?
It's going to be hard. Yeah,
go ahead.
That's the right
Sorry.
question.
Like if you're convinced by the Fatima miracle of the sun, I think we're happy to engage in it. But if it's just like a question and answer, I don't think our audience cares that much. They're really here for the blood sport, you know?
Well, okay, then I'll say any blood sports with me you wish to have.
But you
with my what? you know my views to a certain, and any blood sports with me, you know my views to a certain extent. If you'd like to question my views.
Well, I mean,
I don't know your views.
Well, I guess our starting point probably needs to be, do you actually believe in the miracle of Fatima? Or is it just interesting to you?
I've studied it for years. It's interesting. I do not believe in it.
Okay. I think that's where we're going to have our hang up. We're mostly, we don't really do devil's advocate. We're mostly just trying to debate with believers. That's really where the meat of the show is. And that's, what our audience wants. So we're probably going to move on to a more firm believer. But we appreciate you being here and being patient in the guest room. We really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, cheers. Okay. Well, let's grab our next guest. It's going to be Cecil and then Dick. And
wait,
then
is this
Marshall.
Cecil Pergelmeyer? I know Cecil.
Oh, it is, yeah.
All right, you guys can have fun.
Oh, you already talked to Cecil before, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, is it lagging on YouTube, or is YouTube back? It was lagging a second ago.
Let me check.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've got the browser open real quick. I can see. I've got the TikTok stream open and it's not lagging at all, so it's not TikTok.
It's lagging for me on TikTok.
Really? Well, that could just be your phone. It should lag for everybody if it's lagging. I got the YouTube stream open right now, and YouTube's not lagging. Let me see if the audio's good.
Somebody says TikTok or somebody says it's okay on on TikTok. It's slightly lagging on TikTok, but not terrible.
Weird. I got the YouTube stream open. It's not lagging on the horizontal. Is it lagging just on the vertical?
That's all good. That's all good.
Yeah,
let's just run it.
Okay. Oh shit!
Hey guys, thanks for.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I mean, yeah, vertical looks good too. I don't know if it's lagging, friends. It might just be your browser. Just do a refresh and see what happens. Nevertheless, welcome, Cecil. You've talked to Blitz already, right?
I had the pleasure and honor of talking to Dr. Blitz, and since I talked to him on the phone, I've watched a whole bunch of his videos. And the more you watch somebody, the more he's got a good sense of humor. He cracks me up all the time. You wouldn't think a physicist would be funny, but hey guys, I'm just going to pop in and out of here because I'm a non-believer, so I really don't belong here. But I just have a question: do any of you guys have discussions about man-made global warming or climate change on a periodic basis? Because that's really what I'm interested in. And I asked Dr. Blitz about this. He goes, "Oh, we talk about it all the time." But I'm talking about, do you ever have a show where that's what it's dedicated to?
I never
No,
know.
I don't have a show of that sort.
Well,
I
why
stick
not?
within my wheelhouse. You know, someone told me a long time ago, the first time I ever did public speaking, talk about the things you know and try to stay on that course. And I think that's probably good advice.
But we've only got, what, 5 years left? Because AOC said we had 12 years left, and that was 5 years ago, or maybe 7.
AOC isn't a scientist, Cecil.
I have no idea.
I don't know why you're
Okay.
believing AOC with regards to scientific claims.
Good point. Okay, you guys are going to kick me any second. I don't even deserve to be in here, but I just want to say one more thing, if you'll allow me.
If it's about climate change, no, you're not allowed.
Well, he was right. I kicked him. Now,
Well,
Fiona, my
look at them
friend.
censoring the truth.
Yep.
Thank
In
you for the
unrighteousness,
super chat.
even.
Humans have always been about as smart as we are. Maybe. We just have more information and more ability to gain information. I would say, like, if we're comparing ourselves to, like, the ancient Sumerians and Egyptians and whatnot, yeah, I think we're actually really fucking smart. I think they were too. I just think you're right. I think we know a lot more. Now, a million years ago, probably
Well, we
different
weren't
story.
humans a million years ago is the point.
Yeah. Or, 100,000 years ago. Probably.
I would say 100. We have the same processing capabilities 100,000 years ago as we do today. My brain
You're
was
missing
the
the
same.
point. At some point in evolution, Blitz, humans weren't as smart as this. That's the point. Our
Yeah, that's
craniums
true.
are getting bigger.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So modern humans are what, like 300,000 years old or something like this. And so, if you go back that far, if you go back further than that, rather, then yeah, you'll start finding things that are not as good at thinking as we are. But for the last few 100,000 years, it's basically been the same.
Yeah. 2 more super chats. Christopher, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for a super chat. Came out as 10-year atheist to my theist wife. Oof, 2 years ago. That's actually a tough one. Finally told my Baptist mom 2 weeks ago. Looking forward to the family gatherings with my uncle, who is a pastor, and my brother, who's a deacon. Woof. Good luck. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. Let us know if you have trouble. If you need really good help, please contact our friend Dr. Joe in the Deconstruction Junction Discord. She's got some resources on this exact thing for free. And same sensibility.
So just as a quick thing, Justin, I just got a message that vert is being super laggy, but the horizontal is pretty good. So
so
I
it's
don't know,
just
maybe-
vertical?
Yeah, and this actually happens on YouTube or on YouTube a lot for me. That the vertical one is laggy and the horizontal one is fine. I don't know why, but maybe write that down and we can.
Yeah,
try
that's
to
a
debug
kind of
later.
a weird thing. Huh. Interesting. So just a vertical stream is lagging.
Seemingly.
That's odd. Okay, well, we'll have to address that. Usually if one lags, the other one's lagging, but we'll worry about that later. Sam Sensibility, thank you for the super chat. It says, good morning. Not here for the blood sport. That's okay. Genuinely love good conversations and kittens. Have a lovely week ahead. Rock, salt, lava. Thank you so much, Sam Sensibility. We appreciate that. And you're right, the cat's not in the room with me right now, but maybe I'll open the door here in a little bit and let's see if Faraday wants to come in. Next in line was, oh boy, well, whoever it was left. So now it's going to be Marshall, and then after that, Dave. But Dave, before we bring you in, you've got one red bar on your reception. Dave, we're going to need you to, if you can, find a better connection, maybe some Wi-Fi or something, or if you're on Wi-Fi, disconnect from the Wi-Fi, because we might have a little bit of trouble with your low reception. But welcome in, Marshall.
Hello.
Marshall,
Hello,
are you
let
at
me
least
go to
18?
my room. Yes, I'm 20.
Awesome. And do you believe in God?
There we go. No, I'm good. I do.
Cool. Which one?
The God of the Bible.
Sure.
Okay.
And why?
But my argument more so that there is a God rather than defending the God of the Bible. I think we need to establish that there is a God before we're going into the particulars of what that God might look like.
That's fine, so long as the God that you're going to establish is consistent with the God of the Bible. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, so my argument for why there is a God ultimately hinges down to the contingency argument for why things exist at all. So I have 4 premises that I have written down to establish my belief. So the first one is the core argument, is that anything that could have failed to exist needs an explanation for why it exists. Premise
What's the
number
next
2
premise?
is the universe could have wait, oh sorry. Number two is the universe could have failed to exist. Different laws, different particles, nothing at all are all conceivable, even if it never began. So the universe needs an explanation.
That's not that. So your premise 2
Number
says
3.
that the universe needs an explanation.
Let's get through all the premises.
No,
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just want to make sure that that's part
yeah,
of premise
that
2.
was kind of an added on.
Okay, cool.
It's not
So
part
premise
of. I
3
added
is
that
what?
on, so it's not directly premise 2. Yeah. You cannot explain the universe by pointing to more of the universe. And I can add on to that now if you want, or I can expand upon it later.
You don't need to. Just what's the 4th
That's
premise?
fine.
Okay. Number 4 is there has to be something outside of the chain, something that exists by its own nature and does not depend on anything else.
Yeah, I think you're going to run into tension with 1 and 2. I think you're going to run into a contradiction. I think the key question here is this. God's intention to create this specific universe, could that intention have failed to exist?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well then this universe couldn't have failed to exist because God's intention to create it is necessarily efficacious, therefore the universe is just necessary. You know, God couldn't have failed to
I agree.
intend to create this universe, therefore this universe couldn't have failed to exist, therefore premise 2 is false.
No, I'm saying that I think that God couldn't have created another universe. I think he was bounded to creating this one in accordance to his nature. So I think that actually, I'm going to change what I said previously. I think that he could have kept creating the world over and over and over again until he created a world that we could not use our free will to go against him. However, I think that he had to create a universe in accordance to his nature. So the one that we see now is the only world that we could exist in where we have free will and can make our own choices.
What are you talking about? I'm just wondering. Well, okay, wait. Then you agree or disagree that this universe is necessary?
I mean,
God has
are
a
you talking about like
necessary
this
nature.
universe
God's
in
nature
specific?
necessarily leads him to doing this, to creating this universe. So then this universe is necessary. Because in all possible worlds, God intends to create it, and then it comes about.
Justin, there's currently no audio on Vert.
What Vert's fucking up. I'm sorry. Let me just do. I'll just pause it and restart it.
Sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. Then premise 2 fails. This is kind of a persistent problem with most cosmological arguments, is that the explanatory principle seems to undermine them. You kind of weirdly enough end up with a world where there is no contingency.
So can you tell me more of how premise 2 fails?
So I'm not saying that necessarily premise 2 fails, but I think either premise 2 fails, either the one of two things is going to fail. Either you have to reject the like explanatory principle, or you have to reject like the data that is there to get explained. That it's a problem that either God's intention to create this universe is necessary or it's contingent. If it's contingent, well, then there would need to be some further explanation for why God has that, but it couldn't be a personal explanation because it would be pre-intention. But, you know, if it's necessary, that's a problem too, because then the universe is necessary. So there's no contingency.
Wait, don't you believe that the universe is necessary?
If the universe is necessary, then P2 is false.
Sorry, it cut out. What was that?
If the universe is necessary, meaning that it couldn't have failed to exist, then the second premise is false.
No, but I'm saying underneath your guys' own worldview, don't you believe that the necessary thing is the universe?
I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I depends on my mood of the day, but sure.
I think atheism is compatible with both.
But the point is that even under your worldview, you think that the universe is necessary, unless you think that there are brute facts that explain things like God's intention.
No, I don't think that the universe is necessary. I think that the only reason it is necessary is because God brought it about. So, like, if you're just asking me about the universe, if it's
Could it have
necessary,
failed to exist?
Well, that's just a direct contradiction, right? Like you just directly contradicted yourself in that
could it have
sentence.
failed to existed? Yes, I do think it could have failed to exist.
So that means that God's will could have also God could have not had the will to create the universe, right?
Yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense because I think that
so then God's will to
create
create the universe could have failed to exist. So that needs an explanation too.
So I can't say that I believe that God had to have created a universe and he brought about this universe, but that doesn't mean that this universe is the necessary thing.
Right. So now there's a little bit of equivocation happening here. So your first premise is that anything that could have failed to exist needs an explanation. But now you're saying anything that could have been different needs an explanation. And these are a little bit different. Namely, what you're suggesting is that, well, this God's will could have been slightly different so that God creates a different world or a different universe, if you will. And you're saying, oh, well, so the will is necessary, it just could have been different. Like it could have been this, like kind of the same type of will, but like, you know, it has different particulars. But then you're saying, oh, well, that doesn't apply to the universe because even though God necessarily created a universe, our universe isn't necessary because it could have been different, even though it still would have been a universe. So you can't really have it both ways. You have to either say that you have to either care about the particulars and say that, you know, God's will to create the universe in this way is necessary or not. Or you say that, well, a universe was necessary, therefore our universe, or therefore the universe couldn't have failed to exist. You can't really have it both ways.
I see. So I don't understand. So I'm confused because I understand how there's a flaw in my logical reasoning, but you guys also use some similar reasonings to yield your conclusions. So how am I wrong in stating that the universe might be necessary, but then you guys also think the same things and hold maybe different premises? But like, can you explain your belief on how the universe came to be?
I'm pretty agnostic about it.
Yeah, atheism is compatible with a ton of different explanations here. You could be an atheist and hold to like eternal universe. You could be an atheist and hold to like finite universe, and then it comes out of like some different state. You know, you could be an atheist and think that ghosts created it. Atheism is compatible with like a wide range of options, even like really wacky options.
Isn't that? I mean, that's kind of like an ultimate cheat code then. If you have the ability to say that you don't know how the universe came about, which is the hardest question that anyone has ever had to answer, and you could that's more agnosticism. Like you can't hold to atheism and say that it literally could have come about any way possible. And then
the claim isn't it could be any way possible. The claim is that
compatible with a large amount of things. There are so many things that you could be and also be an atheist. There are so many views that you could hold and also be an atheist. And that's the huge advantage that atheism has over theism, is that atheism is just compatible with so many different explanations. And many, many, many of them are way better than the theistic explanation.
Huh. Interesting. So you guys don't have the answers to the questions you ask, but you expect the person you're asking to have the answers.
We didn't ask you how did the universe get here.
That's an assumption. So you guys are having debates saying that God's not real, and you're asking them questions. Yeah, I am assuming, and you can ask me if what I'm saying is true or not. So you guys are holding a debate saying God's not real, and you're having the guests come up here and defend the God, and you're asking them, or conversations will lead to like, how did the world come about? Why is there pain and suffering? Asking all of these questions, and you're gonna say that whatever answer they give you is not necessarily correct, but then if they turn around and ask you the same questions, you guys also don't have the answers for them.
But why would I want to believe
where
in
the universe
something?
comes from?
Yeah, that's true. First of all, to get it out of the way, huge straw man. We didn't ask you any of those things. But you know, second of all, I mean, you know, it's a question of which one's better able to explain the data. Atheism,
but you guys can't explain the data.
So many different.
So that's why I'm confused.
There are so many different ways you could explain the data.
Yeah.
Then explain it. Then use one of those pieces of data to accurately explain it. You can't. Just use one of them.
Sure. I'll defend a view just for fun. Let's say it's an infinite regress. What then?
If it's an infinite regress?
Yeah, an infinite regress, like temporally.
Okay. Okay. Well, if it's an infinite regress and you think that there's a large amount of data to support that theory, then why don't you believe in it? Why are you agnostic to it?
Because I think that there's other explanations that could also be, but I think it's a live possibility. And to be clear,
those other-
as soon as I posited the explanation, you actually didn't have any counter. Like, your only argument was ad hominem. It was just like, well, why don't you believe that then? I think it's a live option. I think there are other live options.
But those live options simultaneously contradict the infinite regress one. So how can different
agree, they
options
do.
that contradict each other simultaneously all have validity to them, but none of them accurately prove it? Otherwise, you would not be agnostic.
Wow, how could it be the case that you could either go to sleep at 10 p.m. or you could not go to sleep at 10 p.m. and instead go to sleep at 11 p.m.? How could that be the case?
So at the end of the day, though, here's the thing, is even if you're in a court of law and there's a ton of evidence being provided and you, at the end of the day, have to choose something that is most likely to be the case. I've never understood atheism because you guys have all of these options to choose from, and yet you do say that they all could be possible. Why don't
They couldn't
you
all be
use the
possible
facts
simultaneously.
Okay,
One
okay,
of them.
but that's so...
Given the facts that we have, they're all live.
Yeah, but why don't you guys commit to one of them and find evidence
Because
for
we
why
don't
that
have
is the
enough facts
case?
to distinguish them.
Why don't you form the belief first and then gather the evidence after you form the belief?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you
Brilliant.
guys have the evidence. You guys have the evidence
No, we
now
don't have
for
the
it.
evidence. That's the point. We don't have the evidence. We don't have enough evidence to distinguish between these options.
I could have sworn that last time I talked to you guys a while back, you guys all believed in the infinite regress. So what has changed since then?
I've never made the claim that I believe in the infinite regress. I don't know about these jokers, but
I
I've never
have.
made that claim.
But
I've made
Blitz
that claim.
Yeah, Blitz.
You
I don't think
guys,
has
you
ever-
guys are jokers.
Yeah, I have an argument for infinite regress, but it only works on the A theory of time, which I think is false. So
So you don't believe it?
Scum.
I don't believe it anymore. Although I think it works against the theist. Like, if the theist believes in the A theory of time, they're committed to the infinite regress.
So is there any world where you guys would believe in a creator?
If there's
You
evidence.
could resolve the logical issues.
If it was
Okay,
more
at least that's
plausible
fair.
than the alternative.
Okay, at least that's fair. I thought you were honestly going to answer no to that question.
Is there any world where you wouldn't believe in a creator?
Yeah.
Under what
There is a world.
circumstance?
Well, a lot of it's personal, so I won't get into personal. But outside of personal, I would say that if there wasn't constants, like universal constants in the world, like teleological, I think is a great argument for why things are like so perfect, and if they were a little bit differently, then life would cease to exist. I don't understand how that could be explained by a random sequence of events. So I think that
Atheism isn't committed to random sequences. You could be an atheist and hold foundational teleology. Like, you could be a Kaliarchist, hold that everything is disposed towards aesthetic value. You could be an Axiarchist, hold that everything is disposed towards goodness. Atheism is compatible with a lot of teleological options.
What explains that disposition?
It's foundational. That's a category error.
So doesn't something has to explain the foundationalism?
Not unless you want to say that something explains God.
And I also think it's interesting that a lot of the times arguments in the past, when theists would say their arguments, they'd be like, well, you can't just say that it's part of its foundation or it's outside of time. That doesn't make sense. You can't be holding to that positions. And now atheists kind of almost stolen a lot of the arguments of there being a God and formed it in a way that goes against there being a God. That really annoys me.
Yeah, I'm coming for the probability space. I'm taking all of it. She took the probability space. I'm taking all the options off the table. Atheism's compatible with all of them, and I'm tired of pretending that it's not.
Huh. So how could order come about from a mere explosion?
They hit the
Because-
first tower.
It's not. Yeah, I bet Blitz would probably be better oriented
No.
because this is something that I think that
Look, This
There
is like
is-
super well explained. Like,
Yeah.
given our understanding of what the early state of the universe was in like the very very early stages of the Big Bang, like there's just nothing that's particularly mysterious about how we ended up where we are today.
Can you further explain it?
Yeah, a very 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was in an extremely low entropy state. It was an extreme thermodynamic disequilibrium. It was out of equilibrium. And as a result of very slight inhomogeneities in the early universe, you have gravitational collapse, which forms stars and galaxies. Stars and galaxies can, you don't even really need the galaxies. You can just have the stars. Once you have stars, you can start producing more and more complex and more heavy atoms. Once you have the more complex and more heavy atoms, you can form different kinds of stars that then would produce planets, and upon planets, you can have rocks, and you can have stones, and you can have crystals, and all sorts of things. And in those scenarios, you can have chemistry. And once chemistry happens, life is pretty inevitable. There's just not really a mystery.
Yeah, but
there.
again, what gave way for those processes? What gave way for those processes to exist? And also, when everything was condensed into a size of a period on a piece of paper, the laws of physics completely break down.
So we don't have any detail about what was going on when the universe was that small, if it ever was that small. What we can say is that about a second after the Big Bang, or a second after, this supposed t equals 0, our laws of physics work perfectly well. And so if we just start the clock at t equals 1, then everything is totally well explained.
Yeah, but how were you guys able to start at T1? Yeah, you can put that there.
Because that's as far back as our physics goes. We can't really make sense of the way that we can't, not that we can't make sense of it. We don't know how the world was before that. So how could we say anything about what was happening to try to make sense of if we don't know what it was?
So you guys are starting from the position of already having the advantage.
We're starting from the position of
You can already assume
we're starting from the position of this is as far back as we can go, where we have sensible, reliable information about the way the world was. It would be very hard to try to explain how the world got to be the way it is today if you don't know how it was beforehand. So that's why we don't try to explain it from, say, t equals 10 to the minus 19. We instead say, look, starting from t equals 1, we have a very good explanation. We don't really have we don't have the physics to understand what was going on before that. So we will wait until we do.
Yeah, any view that makes itself incompatible with the Big Bang, any view that says that the Big Bang didn't happen, well, that view just gets killed by the evidence.
Huh.
But then,
How
after
does
you
that
accept the
get
Big
killed by
Bang,
the
there's a lot of
evidence?
other things you could say. You could say the Big Bang is one in an infinite series of them. You could say, the universe was spatial, in the timeless boundary, sans T1, and then, since expansion, it's been temporal.
Okay. It's just kind of hard for me to have a productive debate if you guys think that anything is possible or
Not anything is possible.
A lot of things
It's not anything is possible. It's a straw man. The position is that many things are possible.
I just said that was wrong. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What's the
So
issue?
if you guys think that many things are possible, and any time someone asks you guys the questions and we have to sit up here and defend ourselves, and then you guys can turn around and say, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're ultimately an atheist. You're ultimately an atheist. I don't understand how you guys. Why don't you just commit to something? It's just super
because there are lots of
interesting.
live options. Why would I commit to something when there are so many live options? I could take so many different stances on the origin of the universe or what was going on before the Big Bang. If there's so many options on the table, why would I want to commit to one prematurely? Instead, that's a big advantage for atheism. The theist is locked into giving one specific answer that's totally indefensible, which is that God did it. The atheist is capable of saying, well, there's a lot of different ways that the universe could have been.
Yeah, but I gave this before. So if you're sitting in a court of law and you're trying to figure out who murdered another person, you could be like, it could be the grandma, it could be the sister, it could be the dog, it could be
Yeah, but if you can say, but it wasn't my
committed,
client,
it could be
then
all
you
of
win the
these
case.
things. And then at the end of the day, someone's asking you committed the murder. You can't just be like, well, it could be anything. All of these options are live. You'd ultimately have to
I'll tell you
commit
what
to
it
one
couldn't
that
be.
has the best evidence.
I'll tell you who didn't do the murder. It wasn't the fucking Hamburglar, you know. It wasn't like Superman. It was probably some real human being. So we can eliminate your option as being the one that could be the explanation, and then atheism is compatible with a ton of different explanations.
In fact,
still
by
just
the
didn't
way,
answer my question. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you just again turned it towards me. You guys always are turning the arguments towards back to our positions when you can't even answer the questions yourselves, and that's
Because-
what's annoying.
Marshall,
Anytime you guys have a
Marshall,
conversation
our
with anyone,
background-
you're pushing it towards the
Marshall,
idea.
our background is not,
Yeah,
an infinite regress is true. It's not, an atemporal geometric,
Because you can't defend.
geometrically prior space. No. The background is God's not real, not some particular version of atheism is true. That's not the claim.
Yep.
Yeah,
Our claim is compatible with all forms of atheism, and we're welcome to defend the disjunction that, the probability that infinite regress is true, combined with the probability that there's like the steady state, combined with the probability for all of the live option models, that we are more than welcome to just defend any of these views that we want, or all of these views, and then add up the probability. And if the probability of that is higher than the probability of God doing it, then atheism is the better explanation there. It's
What do you
kinda
mean
just that simple.
probability?
Also, like, what we're doing is like eliminating one of the choices, right? So, like, in your murder analogy, if there's like a crime, there's a murder committed, they got 5 suspects. Well, you could rule out one of the suspects without knowing who actually did it, right? So even if we didn't have some answers to like the beginning of the universe or something like that, that doesn't mean we can't then rule out possible answers that don't work. Like if there's an answer and it has logical contradictions, well, that just isn't a good answer. We can rule that one out.
But you guys are ruling out. You're not just ruling out a particular God, like the God of the Bible. You're ruling out things that are being any God. And again, all of the questions that you guys are posing
There's a good reason
to the
for
people
that.
that you're debating, you guys don't have the answers to, but yet you're saying it can't be a God.
don't
So
need-
how can you be certain it can't
I
be
just
a God?
explained to you, we don't actually have to know the answer to know what the wrong answers are. Like if you have a division problem, you don't have to solve the division problem necessarily to know that there are some wrong answers. If you got 5 divided by 3, and I say actually the answer is 100, you're like, well, it's not fucking 100. I didn't even solve the problem yet, but I know it's not that. We don't have to know all the answers to know that there are some wrong answers.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
can I give you a contradiction in your view so we can verify that it wasn't your God?
I mean, you know more about it, so you could literally say anything, and I probably would say it's a contradiction, but you can go ahead.
How many gods incarnated as human?
1.
How many gods didn't incarnate as human?
I'm not sure.
Did the Father incarnate as human?
Yes. Well, the Son did. The Son did.
Okay. Did the Father incarnate as human?
No.
Yeah. So you
I
believe
mean,
you're a
I'm not
polytheist.
sure.
You believe in 3 gods. You reject the Trinity, it turns out.
I couldn't even comprehend the question that you asked me.
How many gods do you
You're
think
asking me if
incarnated?
Well, I think that all the gods are. I think that there's 3 in 1. So if you ask me how many gods incarnated, I would say 1. But I think that there's only one God.
Mhm.
No,
So,
I think that there's only one God.
Sure. So
But there's
God
3 beings
incarnated
in
as
one God.
human, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the Father is God?
Yes.
So the Father incarnated as human.
Yes.
So you reject the Trinity.
Can you explain?
You just said that you think that the Father incarnated is human. I don't know, Justin, am I crazy? Isn't this just like flat false?
No, you got it. So the problem you have with Trinity is the idea is that God incarnated as human, right? So the problem you have is how are we going to be defining God? In Christianity, you can do the Trinity, you can go to modalism, and there's a couple other models. Modalism would say that the Father itself, like he incarnated as Jesus. So when Jesus was on the earth, the Father wasn't really in heaven. Modalism's a heresy. The other option is the Trinity, which is probably what you believe. But the problem with the Trinity is the way that the question that Ian asked is really good. The way that it's explained almost always turns into three different gods. Because if Jesus was the God that incarnated on the earth, well, that means Jesus is not Yahweh. It means Yahweh didn't incarnate. That means there's two gods.
I see. I agree. Answer the questions incorrect. But do you guys agree that, so you have all of these different explanations for the potential of how the universe came about, but would you hold the position that in order for you to truly believe in one of those, it would have to be like almost a unique experience, like a unique set of observations that you've witnessed, or something unique that has happened in order for you to ultimately hold to one?
No, we just need data.
Yeah.
Like feasible, there's feasible experiments underway that could produce such data.
Mm-hmm. Isn't there?
But do you think that personal experience a lot of time outweighs data for a lot of the things that we do in our regular lives?
Whether it does and whether it should. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm saying whether it does, though.
Yeah.
Does,
people
yes.
make irrational decisions all the time. You know, they'll defer to some like hallucinatory personal experience as opposed to, you know, logical evidence and argumentation all the time.
But if there's things that can't be explained, like they simply cannot be explained by the world we live in, and someone were to have that experience that's kind of outside of themselves, wouldn't that almost give them not the right, but like to believe in something higher than themselves?
Why? Why would it?
I mean, because there's no other explanation for it.
Why would God want to do that? Why would God want to give a personal experience? What's his goal?
I mean, it depends on the circumstances, but you could be like a committed believer and be praying for miraculous things to happen. So he might want to do it to show you that your prayers are working.
Mm-hmm. Sure. But then then there's so much evidence against the existence of this God because there are so many prayers that go unanswered. Then your God becomes this like finely tuned being that just has the goal of answering this specific prayer and not answering that specific prayer. And then it's like a mess.
Yeah, and
your prayers get like catastrophically low, way lower than they would have without the evidence.
Yeah, I just don't think I know enough to have a detailed conversation with you guys. But maybe if I keep looking at the evidence. But to be honest with you, like I'm at a point where you guys are probably at the point where you couldn't believe in a God unless there's a lot of evidence for it. From the personal experience I've been through, there's just no way that I couldn't believe in a God. So even if I get evidence that makes me question my belief in there being the existence of a God from the things I've experienced, it would be like nearly impossible for me to say that there is no God.
Well, the question you should ask yourself is why God would want to give you that personal experience. And then whether or not there's a better way that he could have done this.
Yeah, I think that there's a better way he could have done it for sure.
Then God's not perfect.
No, just because I don't agree with it with my human nature doesn't mean that God's not perfect. Just because like we disagree about things all of the time, that doesn't mean that the person that we're disagreeing with isn't perfect.
Yeah.
A better way in accordance to myself. No,
So
it
are you
isn't.
saying that we're not a good guide? We're not a good guide about what an all good, all powerful, all knowing God would do? That our predictions about what they would do are inaccurate? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, I'm saying that in a way because I think that if we're looking at the evidence as of today, this is not the world that God made in the beginning. The world that He made in the beginning was perfect. So just because we see flaws in the world today that we live in doesn't mean that His initial plan was not all good.
Yeah, so here's the problem. If you're saying we can't predict what an all good, all powerful, all knowing God would do, then nothing could possibly be evidence for your view. Nothing at all. The skies and the star, or the stars in the sky could spell out Christianity is true in every language on earth. And if we can't make the prediction that that's the sort of thing that an all good, all powerful, all knowing God would do, then it wouldn't be evidence for it. Like, this is like an absurd thing to hold to. It leads to
I'm saying,
like skepticism.
I'm saying that today we can, but to say that He didn't make the world perfect from the get-go, I think He did make the world perfect from the very beginning. So, but if we're looking at it today and saying, why is there all of this suffering? Why is there all of this pain? Then I would say He didn't, like, we would all think that the God isn't perfect and all powerful. If we're looking at the world today.
Does a perfect thing do imperfect things?
No.
Okay. So did the perfect world that God created do imperfect things?
Yeah, but because He was bounded to it by His nature. He could have only created that world.
It's a contradiction.
So God was perfect, and He brought about things that were perfect. But since He was bounded to His nature, He could have only brought about a world where we have free will. And because we have free will, we ultimately decided to sin. But God brought about perfect.
Why could He only bring about this world with free will? Well, why do we have to have free will?
Because we were created in the image of God, and we have His same characteristics, and God has free will.
So in the end, like Revelation 21:7-8 says, there's going to be no more suffering, no more sorrow, no more tears, when heaven comes down to earth and whatnot. What's causing that to happen? What's causing it so that no one's going to like sin or hurt each other anymore in the future? Will we not have free will?
In the future, and like when we're in heaven?
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I mean, we don't really go to heaven. Heaven comes here, but that's not worth arguing about now. But yeah, what's preventing people from sinning then?
Well, I mean, if I were to die right now, I would go to heaven, then heaven comes to earth.
That's not worth arguing about right now. The point is, what's preventing people from sinning in heaven?
I just think it's part of the ultimate plan. So we have to go through this life in order.
But hold on. What's the mechanism that prevents people from sinning in heaven?
Jesus' death on the cross.
Gotcha. Okay, so before Jesus died, well, actually, that's not a mechanism. What about Jesus' death on the cross prevents people from sinning? Does it take away their free will?
Because I think that in order for us to go to heaven, we have to believe in His burial and resurrection.
Not talking about that.
That's a prerequisite. So a prerequisite must exist in order.
After that, what's the thing that is preventing anyone from sinning when they go to heaven?
A prerequisite had to have been met.
Doesn't answer the question. What's the mechanism? What causes the state of affairs that doesn't answer the question? So Jesus is going to be making human beings, or whatever you want to call it, angels, spirits. He's going to be going around in heaven making sure no one sins?
I'm saying it's a prerequisite. So something in our mind fundamentally changes.
Oh, so He changes your mind. So your mind is altered so you don't sin. So He doesn't care about free will once you're in heaven?
No, because the prerequisite had to have been met.
It doesn't answer my question. Does He care about free will when you get to heaven?
I mean, from what I've read, no.
Okay, so free will is not all that critical, is it?
I'm saying free will in the sense that we can still freely choose what we want to do. I just don't think that we can be freely choosing sin.
Is free will critical? What's it critical for?
I'm saying that when we're in the presence of an all-good, all-loving God, I don't think that we will even have the mindset to want to sin. So we still have free sense in the way that we can go about and
the reason
live
why
in
people sin is because God left?
No, because God was present in the garden.
But you just said if you're in God's presence, you wouldn't want to sin.
God stepped out to get some milk.
And he left the door open so the snake could sneak in.
Yeah.
no.
Irresponsible father. Someone call CPS.
All right, you guys are just too smart for me to answer your questions. So hopefully the next guest will be a bit better.
Fair enough.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Take care.
All right, thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's weird
Now,
how many Christians just can't really think logically about their theology. It's so weird. Like he just never thought about free will in heaven.
So there is a guy named Matthew Marshall who's been loud and boisterous in the comments. I feel like we should probably bring him up.
So I'm looking right now. I only see Hans in the guest.
He's not in the guest box. I can just send an invite.
Oh, yeah, send him an
which I
invite.
just
Okay.
did.
Well, fair enough. Let me read a couple super chats. We'll see if
He
they
did
join
say,
up.
"I'll debate you boys on anything."
Oh my gosh, I'm terrified. Jane, thank you for the super chat. Friend says, "Hi Justin, the three of you have quickly become my favorite trio." Oh fuck, thank you, appreciate that. But you will always be number one. Holy shit, I'm on top of the heap. Very sweet of you. I love it when Ian does the whoa. Just calm down there, as people are crashing out. Yeah, it is really good.
I get it.
Calm down, mouth breather. Calm down.
I get it.
Fun to watch.
Well, let's just calm down there. There's no need to get upset.
Oh, he rejected the invite. That's crazy.
Of course he did.
Why would he do this? I thought you said that you debate us boys on anything.
He's a keyboard warrior. That's why. Speaking of
Isn't there a
Dr.
song
Joe
about
or Marshall, a distinction needs to be made that believe in is not synonymous with follow or worship. True. I could never follow or worship the Abrahamic God again. Yeah. Even if you believe in this thing, it doesn't mean you're like going to follow this thing. If this God was real, I would never fucking worship this thing.
I would. I don't want to get tortured.
Yeah, I'm pretty averse to torture myself. Like, if that was if those were the only requirements, like, okay, it's been like a few hours a day, like, you know, prostrating myself or whatever.
But wouldn't he know that you're faking it?
A day.
He'd know that you're
This is a
faking
fucked
it,
up
and you get burnt
system.
twice.
It's a fucked system.
Yeah.
Marshall, why are you running?
There's two Marshalls now.
He's here.
Atheism has nothing to do with the origin of the universe. It's just about the existence or not of a God. That's it. Rock hard for salty lamp and fiberglass. Well, thank you. Yeah, you're right. That is atheism. Atheism is basically saying the God thing. That's not it. That's not where we're at.
So Matthew did show up.
Marshall, welcome.
Well,
you said you'd debate us on anything.
Yep. But I just want to start with your moderation on YouTube is horrible.
You're not on YouTube.
Well, we don't moderate.
And I never wasn't rude.
Do you mean TikTok? Because you've been fighting on TikTok.
No, I got blocked on YouTube, so I came over to TikTok. Debate today already, so now I'm debating you.
Do you think he has his like phone on like a string and he's like swinging it around his head, and that explains like why the audio is going like in and out?
The Doppler effect.
Yeah, literally.
Evolution, and I can prove God's existence through His creation.
Sure.
So
let's do it.
So I just want to clarify. It sounded like you said that you would debate us on anything, but it sounds like you specifically want to debate evolution. So have you changed your mind on that?
We can start here, and we'll go on anywhere you want.
All right, fair enough, Matthew. So what do you think is? How do you think evolution proves that God exists, or something?
Evolution doesn't prove God exists.
Okay. How do you think that evolution is false and therefore God exists?
Because of the rate project of the Soho French scientists, and they're the best leading physicists in the world that proved through the Brahma studies in the Grand Canyon that they tested the same substance multiple times. It came up with different ages of the Earth by 1.8 billion years, but their ultimate study reached the conclusion that crystal lattice structures and obsidian glass and other rock formations are permeable. They act like a sponge. So water leaches in and out, just like lead leaches in and out. So it's inaccurate. And so when they find diamonds that are in the ground with carbon-14, they literally test it and see that there are still traces of carbon-14 in it. And then there is no damage from the crystal lattice structures, proving diamonds can be more than 30,000 years old, because all crystal lattice structures are permeable after 30,000 years, according to this study. So their
Sorry, what's the name
radiometric
of the study and
dating,
who are the scientists?
radiometric dating is not accurate
Wait, sorry,
after
what's the-
30,000 years.
Yeah. You're
So
you're
the
very
carbon
confused about
14
this. You know, you're talking about radiocarbon dating, despite the fact that all this would have been done with probably uranium lead dating to find
Or
the long
argon
stretch of the
dating
Earth.
or potassium argon dating.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
But what's
carbon
what's
dating.
the specific study? Let's dig into it.
dating. I can name all the radiometric dating. I just named the carbon-14 and the potassium argon 40.
Can you
and,
name the study?
And they're all still the same part. Did you know
There's
both of
not
those
even-
are
I
still
guess
radio
not.
dating? Just a
We
subset
found the thing
of
that he can't
radio-
name.
They're just a subset of radiometric dating itself. What are you talking about? We're talking about
Holy shit, this guy's the yapper.
He's
So
just
if you study polonium
I know,
Study,
all
halos,
his
Matthew.
own.
Study. What's the study, Matthew?
all right, the study is
The name of the
polonium
study.
halos prove that the Earth is much younger because
This is your study?
because
Polonium
the
halos
half-life-
I already know this. I already know what he's talking about, Ian.
that the
I already
Earth
know what he's.
is much
information.
younger.
You want to act like a fool. You want to act like a
Matthew,
fool, or you want to actually hear me?
Matthew, do you understand that when you have a slowly decaying substance like uranium and uranium, then you will enter into a steady state, or I guess it's called a secular equilibrium, I think, when you have basically fixed quantities of all of its decay products in certain ratios that exist throughout time, even if the decay products themselves live for a very short amount of time. Are you aware of this?
And learn real quick. So, like I said, the polonium halos prove that the half-life is only 3.5 minutes. So, how is there
No, it
bubbles
doesn't.
in a zircon crystal?
You're
Yes, it
you're
does.
confused.
Yes.
That's not
So
what
that-
polonium halos. That's not what
So-
polonium halos prove.
So Howard, yes, it is. So if the parent and daughter isotopes leach in and out with lead, it's inaccurate and it releases radon and helium.
Okay, so let's
then we can even
definitely just dodge and twist away from the polonium halos argument, which you know is about to get demolished.
test,
Yeah.
we can even test these zircon crystals and we can even tell that it has
Zircon.
57
Zircon the Great
helium left.
conquered the Methuselah Empire in the year 14,000 of the galactic rotation.
Yeah, this
This
guy
is
knows
ad
things.
hominem attacks now because you guys are defeated already.
Well, I mean,
No,
to be
it's
fair, I
hard
did try to respond honestly, but then you just kind of steamrolled over it, so now I'm just making fun of you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm making fun of you all
Who
the
will
time.
I
What are
believe?
you
Esteemed physicist Dr. Blitz, or like fucking like trapped in a wind tunnel, Matthew Marshall?
Origins of physics with physics itself. Yeah, I cooked them. The YG
When you
not
declare that
being
you've cooked
present
somebody, that's
Yeah.
surely a sign that you've done it. So, can you address my criticism of the polonium halo study?
What do you want to know about it?
Can you address my criticism? Surely you were listening when I offered the criticism, right?
Oh, I was talking and you overtalked me, and then you overtalked me again. It's just a back and forth thing to where I couldn't hear you, buddy. That's the point.
Okay,
We
so
have
I'll
to have
offer the
some
criticism
sort-
again. I'll offer the criticism again and you can respond. Okay, so pay attention. So with regards to polonium halos, the claim is that the polonium halos can't exist unless there is a source of the polonium that somehow lasted long enough, which you know,
just cut
it
out
can,
long.
because polonium has a. That's on your end then. This is a you problem. So the point is that we expect polonium to exist throughout the entire geologic history of the Earth because polonium is a decay product of uranium, and uranium has a very long-lived half-life. And so over the course of 4.5 billion years or so, please, I thought that you were going to listen to my criticism. So over the course of the past 4.5 billion years, only about half of the uranium-238 would have decayed. And so that half of the uranium-238 that would have decayed over the course of 4.5 billion years, eventually that uranium-238 decays into polonium. It's part of the uranium decay chain. And so you would end up with an equilibrium, essentially, an equilibrium of polonium concentrations in all of these minerals that originally contained uranium. even though each individual polonium atom decays quite quickly, they're always being sourced by uranium.
Isotopes, it offsets what it is, and that's what you just said is inaccurate, according to Soho.
Can you repeat to me what I just said?
You just got proved wrong by the French scientist study I just brought up.
Can you repeat back to me what I just said, please? Summarize.
Yeah, you said the polonium halos are one of the lowest decaying isotopes, and so parent and daughter isotopes had to then decay in order to go through the long process of other from uranium into plutonium and amerium and all the other different isotopes, all the way down to the lowest form of polonium halos. But the fact
That's
still
not
remains.
what I said at all.
Dang, if that's not what you said, I don't know what you're saying.
Somebody in YouTube chat called him Matthew Marshall.
Oh my god, that's brutal. Yeah, so the point is that when you have a long-lived parent isotope, that parent isotope will continuously provide a source for all of the short-lived daughter isotopes to exist in a sort of equilibrium state. And so you expect to find polonium in all of the minerals that uranium exists. Sorry, go ahead.
That's what you think.
That's exactly what's
That's
expected.
because
In fact, that's what we see.
That's because you were taught that crystal lattice structures were unpermeable, but now we've proved that they are.
No, this has
permeable.
nothing to do with the impermeability of crystal lattice structures. It's completely unrelated.
Come on, physicists. Are you really a physicist?
Yeah, I am. Are you really like an intelligent adult?
No, and what about all of science can't perform one scrap of evidence to say God doesn't exist, but yet you use
I just
God
broke
to
my neck with
disprove
that size pivot.
Holy
My neck.
shit.
Oh, I need to go to a chiropractor or something. Maybe I'll go see that one chiropractor that used to show up all the time.
You to try to disprove God, but yet it disproves science at the same time. So the same time you're using Hume to disprove God, you're disproving science. And
Who's using Hume to disprove God in this conversation? What are
I
you doing?
don't see anybody do that.
Let me put this in terms that you'll understand. Nobody's using Hume to disprove science.
Well, that's one of your main experts on this subject, so yeah, I'm gonna bring it up. You're not
Hume?
an expert, so I already know that. So what I'm talking to.
Sorry.
Hume is the expert?
Oh, it was Platform. That was his name.
Yeah, he's an expert on deflecting things and rebranding things of what's God and replacing it with his own thoughts and theories. But the fact is, all empirical science proves and points to a God existing. What if you debate against causality, which is the uncaused original first cause, and then when you say,
oh, you don't want to do that one.
Oh no,
this one's the infinity blunder.
Why
Do
would
you
we
think
think
that
there's a
God
first
was
cause?
always creating? Whoa. Calm down there, Matthew. Do you think God was always creating, or do you think he begins to create at some point? You're an old man yelling at clouds. Take your meds, dude. Answer the question. You're like begging for death, like you want the firing squad. Unfortunately, you can't get the easy way out. No, the conversation will continue until morale improves.
God does exist. When you throw out causality, you throw out all the major science.
Banger after banger today.
Who's throwing out causality?
Do you believe in that first cause? Do you believe in a first cause or not?
I think atheism is compatible with one. I don't think that it entails one. I think atheism is compatible with it.
He doesn't know these words.
Do you believe in first cause?
I think atheism is compatible with the first cause. I'm agnostic to it, but I think atheism is compatible with it.
That's a misconception.
How so?
No, he's right. It is. I misconceived that I'm agnostic to it. I failed to accurately introspect on my own internal states.
Ian, we might not be. This might be too high level.
So now you believe in causality because you don't want to throw away all the major sciences.
Hey, Matthew. Matthew Marshall.
You talked about
what shape is the Earth?
Years I've been sitting there.
Oh no.
Matthew.
Ian, I talked about before your unapologetic.
Are you okay?
I still got the video.
Like a fit? I
don't
can only hear
think
every
he's
other
okay.
word. You know, it's like the fucking Doppler effect. You know, he still has the phone on the string, but I think it kind of sounds like a crash out. It's in and out.
Yeah.
Matthew, what shape is the Earth?
It's a sphere. God said that he looked down.
Oh, thank the Lord. Thank the non-existent Lord.
I'm gonna get into it. We can disprove the model, though. I'll do everything. I'll give you what you want.
Wait. Do you want to? You can disprove the globe Earth?
Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
What are we disproving
You
now?
guys ready?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna say that God looked down on a circle of the Earth, and if you take a sphere looking down on it, it is a.
Oh
Which
no.
way is down on a sphere?
Hey, Marshall. Marshall, do you know the difference between a sphere and a circle? Just to be clear, Marshall, would you like me to actually engage with you on that particular passage, or do you just want to keep yelling forever? Matthew, would you like to engage on your first topic? Matthew, would you like to engage on your first claim?
You know, he's just gonna keep coming in and out, and it's all around.
Let's do it.
And, you know,
I'm your
guest, man. You just can't. Oh my God, dude, lock in. Get some help.
Lay this down.
Yeah. So
curves at
what we need to figure out here, Matthew, is whether or not any of these verses mean anything that you just spat out that would be helpful to you. You quoted Isaiah 40:20. I'm aware. Yes, you quoted Isaiah 40:22 in reference to the shape of the earth. Would you like to actually address what that passage says?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this doesn't say sphere. It says circle. You know, circles are different than spheres, right?
So if you look at it, if you're looking down on a sphere, what do you see?
I'm aware. If you're looking at the earth, you see a sphere. You
deflect? Are you serious? So what I just said was real.
What you see is a sphere. To be clear,
he doesn't want an answer.
No, he doesn't want an answer. So Matthew, I'll help you out. When I look at the earth, I actually know that it's a sphere because I can see the warping at the edges. Like when you look at something like this versus like this, it appears differently. That's why on the road, like the letters are really long, but they don't look long in your car because of your vantage point, right? So you can actually tell that the earth is a sphere just by looking at it. And also, the Bible doesn't say that it looks like a circle from God's vantage point. It just says that it is a circle, which is a problem. Now, did you know that in biblical Hebrew, there's a word for sphere?
I'm sure there is.
Okay, did it use that word? This is not Aramaic, the Old Testament written in Hebrew. Did it use?
Word was written. What are you talking about?
Aramaic came later. Aramaic came after biblical Hebrew. Do you know what word is here? Is it circle or is it sphere?
You look down on. If you hear the description of what
I know.
he
I've read the verse. I'm asking you, in the original language, does it say circle or does it say sphere?
Good, buddy.
I'm just waiting for an answer. Does it say circle or sphere?
No.
I'll help you out. So the verse doesn't say sphere, right? It could say. So Isaiah gives you the word for sphere later in the same book. It's earlier in the same book. It's kadur, which is a modification slightly to the word dur, which would be a turnaround or a generation. Kadur is what they use to refer to balls and spheres. That's not what's used in Isaiah 40:22. It actually just uses chug, which is a flat 2D disc circle. So the problem that you have here is, unfortunately, you didn't look deep enough to actually ask yourself, hey, what did the author actually intend to say here? And you have no idea what's going on. I think maybe
measurement.
maybe like you should
What are you talking about?
maybe you should make these phone calls while you're still in your padded room because it's really difficult to hear you.
More educated the subjects to cut me off and try to
maybe
find these
maybe
little things
I
you
should
can
be
make.
more, I should be more educated in the Bible.
He might just be calling from an ambulance, which is
I
why
think
we're
so.
hearing so much Doppler effect.
Matthew, what's your education level?
I am expert in this field.
What's your education level?
Why would you even say that? That's like humiliating. That's like a humiliating thing to say.
In which
Did you
fields?
go to college?
In which field specifically? A lot actually. Like 7 years.
Okay. Oh, that's not even long at all.
I got 3 degrees.
You went. You're asking me
I have
about
4
my
degrees,
college?
not flexing, just saying.
So just to be
Dr.
clear,
Blitz went to college, what, 12, 16 years?
well, he's got a no,
Right?
not that long,
Bro
but
can't
he's got a PhD. I don't.
Also,
So just
10 years is probably a closer approximation.
yeah.
But sure.
To be clear, we're asking. You said that we're uneducated. You said that you're an expert. I'm trying to figure out what your education actually is. What is your education?
I want me to tell you again.
So you went to community college. And what was your degree in?
Took him 10 years to
I never-
graduate with an associate's.
Oh no, he
I
never,
never finished.
Gotcha. So your highest level of education is a few college classes. That's it.
I majored in business and minored in psychology.
In
My psychology
business.
professor said I was the brightest mind he's ever came across.
So
And
how
I went
did
to Yale.
you become an expert
Wait, did you say your
in
professor
this
said you were the
field?
brightest mind he's ever come across? That's so funny.
That's certainly not the case. Hey, how did you become an expert in this field without an education?
Because I educated myself.
Oh, interesting. From like watching YouTube videos.
I write
Certainly he
books
didn't
all
read the
time,
original
buddy.
text.
I wrote
He
60
didn't.
books now. I even wrote a book called Ian's Nose I'm about to release. And then I wrote a book
Is that
called
so?
The Final Debate.
Yeah,
All
which
you guys-
which model
if I
did
get
you use to write it? Is it going to be like some high quality like Fable slop, or is it going to be like lower quality like Sonnet slop?
It's 100%
free
going
audio
to be
book I'm
an
releasing
AI
called The Final
book.
Debate.
No
is
doubt
the
about
final
that.
debate. You guys will never debate again on these topics because
Oh no. Ankle shattered. We'll never debate
Dr.
again.
Blitz. Wait, Dr. Blitz just dropped.
you will not debate
Oh
again.
yeah, Dr. Blitz lost his connection. Let me put him back up here.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, I'm floating.
Really
I
laggy
got you.
today.
I got you. Don't worry, buddy.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, Justin, I actually refreshed, and I refreshed because my browser started eating up all my processing time again.
Yeah,
Seems to have fixed it, but
we'll be
at least
taking
for
care of
now.
that. Don't worry. All right, let me get everyone back on screen. Sorry about that.
I'm
Apologies.
huge.
Let's go. All right, 1 second.
Things that have never been said about Ian before. Ayo.
And I just
Shit.
Sorry, that was mean.
yesterday, Skepticus, where I
Uh,
took talent.
what's he talking about Skepticus for?
Who knows?
I have no idea what he's shouting about. This is, was it Ian or Blitz? This is definitely just old man yells at cloud. Like this is. There's no
It's hard when
other.
you're
I'm sorry. When
at the same time.
I refresh, do you have to fix the entire browser or the entire stream?
No, don't worry about that. So something completely. That's something on my end that's buggy that is already fixed, but I can't implement it during the live stream. It's just
I did get
not-
scared from the brightest mind some community college teachers I've ever seen. That's true.
Can you imagine
ran.
you're the brightest mind
Oh, it's
you're the brightest mind your community college professor has ever seen, and then you drop out of community college?
it'd be such a shame.
Rob, I
Isn't that
said
what
it was-
happened to that Langan guy?
I said I went to jail.
You went to what?
Oh.
Jail?
That makes sense because it sounds like you're calling from the fucking rec yard.
That does check out.
Oh, it's doing it again.
Yep, so long
Gosh
ago.
darn it.
I'm a good citizen now.
I don't think he is though. I don't think you are a good citizen.
So I'm wrong about radiometric dating. It cannot test accurately past 30,000 years.
His
So
connection's really bad. I think he's just going to repeat the same talking points. Do we want to? Do we want to continue this conversation?
I think we've milked this cow for all that he has.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna send the cow back to pasture, and I think move on to the next one.
Justin, I do got to refresh again.
No worries.
I wonder if it's a cookies issue. Maybe Blitz needs to try clearing his cookies.
I don't know. I suspect there's some sort of setting or program on his computer that's kind of interfering or acting up with one of the resources that's not on our computers, and so it's one of those like unforeseeable things. But nevertheless, I'll do a deep search here later today, see if there's like anything that could cause it to manifest like eating up a whole bunch of resources, because it's barely using my resources that much, and I'm the one hosting it. I'm sending all the streams, so I don't know why I'd be eating up all his resources.
Sure.
Oh.
Okay. It is
Anyways,
weird.
Well, while we're waiting on Dr. Blitz, I think he's coming right now. We'll grab some super chats, and I think we've got a couple guests waiting to get in. Let me grab Dr. Blitz again.
Sorry about that. It was going well for a
Wait,
while.
it's the mic problem again.
Oh, one sec.
Is it
Can you hear me?
No, maybe I could just
Wrong
select
mic.
it for you.
I'll select it for you.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, wait, yeah, Justin, I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know why this is happening. It was working. It was nice and stable for a while, and then it just started eating up all my processing time.
Yeah, I think there's a slow leak, and I'll see if I can root out the memory leak or the processor leak after the stream.
It's about to happen again.
Really?
It's about to happen again.
How is your computer good for like an hour and a half?
I'm sitting at 70%. I have no idea.
Oh. 70% processor or RAM? I'm at
try
like
one more time. If it doesn't work,
I'm at like 20%.
Processor. If it doesn't work, I'll do something else.
I wonder why it's eating up your processor. You're not. All you're doing is like viewing the screen. So weird. What's your processor? You said 10%, Ian?
Oh, mine. It's
yeah.
All of Google Chrome, all of it is like 10%.
Yeah. Okay. I think Blitz is.
Yeah, it seems like it's not a browser-based issue because I've now seen this issue on both Brave and on Chrome.
Yeah. I think you've got something on your computer that's not interacting well, and we can talk about that later.
So far, it seems stable though, sitting at under 10%.
Yeah, it's too bad. But
can you hear me?
It's weird. Yeah. Because I'm the one rendering all of the video, and my processor is fine.
Testing.
No, it is strange, but I
Testing,
have no idea.
please.
Blitz, we can't hear you.
But I can hear him. But can you hear us? Did you turn your?
Can you hear me now?
On? Yep.
Testing.
I can't hear him. Oh no,
You
Justin.
Blitz,
Oh,
what the fuck did you do?
no.
You did it,
Can you hear me
Blitz.
now?
Hold on, let me just
Wait,
do this real quick.
Okay, what the hell?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We've been here the whole time. You can't hear us though. Blitzy. Blitz. Let's just make Blitz refresh. I think, Ian, that he selected the wrong hardware or didn't give the web browser his right hardware permissions when he came in. I think he came in on a new browser and he couldn't hear us because his speakers didn't have permission.
You think he was doing the browser switcheroo again?
I think he was doing a browser switcheroo again. Damn it, Blitz. All right, he's back. You told me the specs in your computer at one point. You got a pretty hardy machine.
Yeah.
Wait, I can hear you.
Welcome back, Blitz.
Based.
Okay, good.
Are we good?
Yeah, I just kicked him
It's
in.
not leaking yet, but
I just. Okay. Well, I mean, if it starts, you already know the penalty for nocturnal emissions. It's going to be 7 days outside of the city gate, and then we can talk after that. Okay.
Right, I'll make sure to do that.
Let's make it happen.
The leak is leaking,
buddy.
Maybe. I could always just join through the link, maybe.
Yeah, just join as a guest. You don't have to have the studio. Just use the guest link.
It's about to leak. Maybe I can actually just set it. One sec. Let me. I have one option. If I set it to low priority, it might not eat up all my resources.
Maybe.
Dude, oh no, I feel bad now. Matthew is in chat like, can I get my props from anyone in chat that I cooked them? Please tell me that I did a good job, chat. Please, chat.
Oh, he's in the box.
Tell me.
He's back in the guest box.
Matthew?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. He wants more. I don't know why. Why would we bring him up?
Dude. Holy shit. That's like kind of pathetic.
It's really sad, actually.
Well,
let's get a couple of super chats. We'll get our next guest loaded. I think Blitz is going to join us as a guest since his web browser's being funky. Hey, Genji, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. Big W. I wonder. A smart person reconciles a commitment to the Catholic Church and the reality of CSA within the church. True, because when I was youngster, in Catholic school, I actually did have kind of a preference for some of the Catholic doctrine, but the problem that I ended up with was I couldn't get over the issue with the SA. I was like, you know what? While I prefer some of the Catholic readings of the Bible and the Catholic doctrines, I could never actually bring myself to be a Catholic because I don't want to be associated with what the church has done. And that was a hard stance. And so, yeah, if that's what's holding you back, I think that's perfectly understandable. Although, obviously, Genji, we know you're not thinking about joining the Catholic Church. But if you were going to convert to Christianity, I think that would be a huge, huge setback. But things that are not a setback, 1 second, somebody sent out a bazillion memberships. Holy shit, hold on.
Hell yeah, right. Let's go.
Let's see now. Where did this start at? Carissa Whelan, thank you so much for sending 20 unapologetic gifted memberships. That's humongous,
always good
friend.
To see Carissa.
Super appreciate that. That helps the channel a boatload, a shit ton, an enormous amount. Super appreciate that.
Huge.
And Narrative, thank you for the super chat. Says Matthew Marshall equals Dunning-Kruger. True. Decay chain. Creationism. Polonium halos. Suddenly, you're a nuclear physicist. You three are the only trinity I trust. Well, thank you. And it's baffling to me that there are people like Matthew who, despite really having no education, they just can't bring themselves to believe that they're not the smartest person in the room. Weird. And Kafu Mocha.
Well, his community college teacher told him that he was.
Yeah.
He's special.
What, you think that's nothing? You don't think that that's...
You know what? That's on me. I misjudged.
That doesn't update your Bayesian priors?
I should not have misjudged. Curious if you guys hold a position similar to modal skepticism or causal anti-realism when combating the cosmological argument and necessary being. I don't even know what that means.
Okay, both of those. So modal skepticism, probably the charitable reading of modal skepticism, for those of you who don't know, is that we're not very good judges of possibility. And this is like almost certainly true when we're talking about like fundamental metaphysical entities. Like these would probably be so wildly different from our experience that just like an intuition towards the nature of them being one way or the other, like our intuitions are probably worthless in terms of what's actually possible when it comes to entities that are so far removed from our own experience. But I don't know. I think there's no... I'm not sure that there's a need to... It's not my go-to argument. And then I think causal anti-realism is very implausible, and I think that would be, I don't know. Like, I just think that there are like far more plausible answers to cosmological arguments than saying that causation doesn't exist. Atheism is compatible with both of these positions, but I'm pretty sure causation exists.
Sure. Billy Sipes, huge W. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Monumental. Let's get 50 W's for Sipes in here. If Marshall can convince me out of atheism, I will donate the same amount to his commissary account in Shawshank. Holy shit. That does seem right. Yeah, they do give tours at the Shawshank prison. I don't know if you guys know that. It's actually in my home state of Ohio. If you want, during Halloween, you can even pay to stay a night there. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Blitz, just to let you know, your feed is still kind of slow. It works.
Yeah, the processing my processing time is like just spiking all over the place. Like sometimes it's spiking, sometimes it's not. It's really hard to say why.
Yeah, there's something interesting happening on your machine.
But if you can hear me all right, then it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
later. I will reboot my machine later.
Yeah.
I just don't like rebooting my machine.
It's Windows, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. I've done all of my development.
Oh, you have to reboot your machine every day. No, you can.
Well, Windows I would, but I've done all the development for this so far on Macs, so I'll have to open up my Windows machine and test it. But working on Ian, Ian's got a Windows machine, right?
Yeah, that's a crazy fact that you just.
When was the last time you rebooted your machine, Ian?
Every day.
Yep.
Power it fully down every day.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy. This is nonsense. I'll have none of this.
I would. If I had Windows, I would. They have really poor hardware management inside of Windows and resource management. Next in line, well, shit, everybody.
This is the only software that's giving me problems.
It was supposed to be Dave that was next in line, so let's bring up Dave, and we'll see what we can get going on here. Welcome in, Dave. Are you at least 18?
Yes.
Awesome. And which
Dave,
do you believe in?
Great.
The contingency one.
You want
the contingent God, or
run the contingency argument? You mean?
Yes, the contingency argument. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. Go for it. Yeah. Well, before we go, can you help us out with telling us what your God is? Is it a specific God?
No,
Justin, in the meantime, since I've been here for 100 of these, I am going to reboot my PC right now.
Yeah. Also, look at the group chat. I showed you your preview. You've got one red bar. Your reception, for some reason, is really low.
Yes, full bars.
Yeah, I'm going to reboot. I'll be back.
Screen.
Okay.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
So, Dave, sorry.
I lied. I'm right here.
What specific God do you believe in?
Yeah, the contingency one.
Right, but is that just a generic God, or do you actually believe in like a singular God that is standardized, like a Christian God?
Yeah, I believe in space-time causality, and that makes it contingent.
Well, I believe in
space-time contingent
as well.
Sorry. Could you repeat that?
Well, we believe in space-time as well.
Right. So space-time causality is there. That means contingency is there.
Well, to be sure, we're talking about a God.
Follow.
Right. The reason why it follows is because if you might have noticed in 2020, a lot of people in US were shouting 2 + 2 is 5, right? But now in 2026,
what is happening? What are you rambling about,
Dave? Are you
holy shit
unwell?
Okay. So I just want to say this thing. Space and time causality is there. As space increases, time is faster. And if you want to find out a faster time, you take a derivative.
Apparently, that's just false.
Did you hear what he just said? It was hard for me.
If you want to find out how fast it's going, you take the derivative.
In contingency, we have space and time causality in contingency. So whenever you see a sign of contingency, I assume there's space and time causality. And
How
since
about we
space is
establish
larger,
signs of
time is faster.
coherency before we talk about any of this? Do you think God is a mind?
Yes, it's the abstraction layer. Yeah, it's one of the layers. It's not just one layer, right? We have a tech stack. We don't just do PHP or we just don't do Apache. We have a tech stack with different applications. So
You know, I'm about to
similarly,
KYS or
What?
KMS, I guess.
How did fucking
yeah,
Apache
sorry.
start catching strays here? Apache's never done anything to you.
No, so I just wanted to say like there is space and time contingency, and that's why we believe there
I'll
must
have you
be a God.
know, Apache
Because
has been serving web users for a very long time without people ever seeing any Apache problems. I'm a little offended right here.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't
I
know
think
this
I'll
was
keep it short.
your hot button issue, Justin.
Sorry.
Okay, I guess I'll go. I'll drop off. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks so
Thank
much.
you
Great
for being here, Dave.
conversation. Yeah, this was a great chat. I learned a lot from it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure thing.
Yeah, thanks. Bye bye.
Okay. I mean, I hate that he waited, what, two hours or something for that?
Dude, what the fuck was that?
I don't know. I got to be honest. I didn't think our old friend Apache was going to be part of a debate about God. It didn't. You caught him, right? He was talking about PHP and Apache. I have no idea why.
Yeah. Although this stuff, I don't really know what either of those
That's
are.
boomer speak.
Oh, they're web languages.
We all code in like Python and Java nowadays.
Oh, Python's
Are
great.
those OSs? Are those languages?
Yeah, they're languages.
Oh my god, Ian.
Okay.
So Apache is it's a server software. You put it on like a Linux server, and it serves your pages. Oh, I think we'll just help them disconnect. So let's just do that.
You should bring up Forever Cell. That'll be fun.
Yep. Forever Cell on the way. Welcome in Forever Cell.
How's everyone doing tonight? Or
Good, how you
today?
doing?
Great.
Better now that you're here.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Brooks, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing
How old are you?
okay.
I'm sorry.
Over
I have
50.
autism. I just fucking jumped in there. What religion are you?
I'm a Catholic, true Catholic. The original Christian, we believe a 73 book Bible, the original Bible, not the 66 book that every other non-denominational Christian believes in. But yeah,
I
God
think some
is
good
God
evidence
is
for
definitely real.
Catholicism, you know. 66 is pretty close to 666, and that's pretty demonic. But yeah, what makes you?
You guys can handle this. I did this for 20 minutes earlier this week.
Holy
So
shit.
all you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is a good. I had Mr. Blitz, Dr. Blitz, thinking about it.
So yeah, I don't grant
so
that. I don't
space
grant
is-
that space-time
space-
doesn't exist. There's an active
Yeah, I
position.
got
There are
that.
kind of two active positions. One of the positions is called, there's three positions about the ontology of space-time. You could be a relationalist, which does hold that it doesn't exist and instead reduces to like change. You could be an absolutist about it and hold that it is an object. Or you could be like a super substantivalist about it and hold that, in fact, the only object is space-time. So I don't grant that it doesn't exist.
There's a third that you don't know about. Time is a
agree.
function of motion. Without
There'll be a
motion, there is
fourth
no
one.
time at the atomic level. So time. Yeah, no, I'll give you the third. You gave me. I gave you the third.
That
Yeah.
would have been a fourth.
Time is a
and,
function of motion.
You know,
Without motion,
unfortunately,
there's
the
no
three that I
time.
laid out are a true dichotomy. In fact, super substantialism is just a subset of absolutism. So actually, absolutism and relationalism are just a true dichotomy. Either, either time
Yeah,
reduces
when,
to change, or change
well,
reduces to
let's-
time.
Well, there's no mechanism for time, and I'm trying to show you that
What
the
about
first
change?
true mechanism has been discovered. No, I'm talking about physical mechanism.
I'm gonna help you guys out.
There is no
Just
physical-
asking whether or not he
there-
believes in God.
Oh, do you believe in God?
Of course, we're made out of
by
God.
God, what do you mean?
Space.
Oh, well, I agree.
Well, space is
exists.
conscious. You were actually talking about, yeah. So let me give an example about space. Space
Does
is
space
the
exist?
entirety. Of course. See, Einstein said it was void. So that's a big
But time
mistake.
doesn't
You know, it's
exist.
like time is a function of motion. Okay, so at
But
the
does time
atomic level,
exist?
of course, it's only created by motion of the atom. Okay,
Okay,
when
so
I'm
you do
talking
agree
about the
that
atom,
space-time exists.
no, space time does not exist.
You just said
There's a
that
fourth
you
dimension of
thought
time.
that time
The fourth
exists
dimension of
and that
time.
space exists.
No, yeah. This is the first time you hear something. This is the reality of
No, I hear
our
contradictions every day.
universe.
It's okay. I'm quite used to them.
Well, this is the
You
problem.
think
That's what we
space
have.
exists? You
We
think
have
time
really,
exists? But you don't think space-time exists?
no, general relativity, quantum mechanics, string theory. Why is there three different theories all explaining different aspects of the universe? Why can there be one complete theory of everything? Now that's the
You know, I
the
think that
problem.
string theory is
Okay?
trying to be the one complete theory of everything. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, but it's a philosophical theory. There's no test to prove it. Okay,
That's kind of
that's
true.
the
That's true
problem.
to an extent. That it's
No,
like
that's
kind of
100% true.
gerrymandered, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
that
pretty
probably
sad. I
there
mean,
needs to
all
be like a
these
different one.
other string
You know,
theorists
I think they're
spending
still trying
50 years of
to
their
work
lives
through that
studying
one.
this stuff. Yeah, it's just pretty sad that all these 50 years, 30 years of their lives studying a theory that just is mathematically beautiful, but it doesn't exist. That sucks. You
You know, that's
know,
like
there's a
basically every single person's worldview for all of history. I don't think that
well, now
necessarily is
that
bad. It depends on what builds off of it.
To be clear,
yeah.
it's not the position of most physicists that string theory is worthless. This is the position of like very, very fringe physicists and then only lay people. Nobody else agrees with this position in the physics community.
String
You
theory,
know,
or
that's the problem because well, if you think about it, you know, for the past 100 years, physics has been stagnant. Okay, let's be serious.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
true.
even
I'm
gonna get
sorry.
frustrated.
See, modern physics has been stagnant for the past 100 years.
100
Basically,
years.
we're still.
You
Yeah,
don't think
man, we're
we've
still with
learned
general
anything in
relativity.
100 years?
All we're building is just building blocks on the same false theories, which is general relativity, quantum mechanics, and now in the 70s, string theory. Okay, so basically, there's no new modern theory has come out. All have been patches or band-aids on top of these theories. Okay,
Wow,
and
that's
you know,
great,
Dr.
bud.
Bliss can verify that. Yeah, Dr. Bliss can
Where do
verify
we get
that.
to space being conscious? I'm confused.
I shouldn't let him
Good
derail.
question. So, now there's a new theory, and it's the final theory of everything. It's called the vortex theory of atomic particles. This theory, this basis that everything is made out of one substance. Okay,
The human
and this one
substance.
substance, no, the conscious substance, which is space itself. Okay? Space is not void; it's not empty. It's
Sure,
actually
so
it
the
could be
reason why
stretched.
space has consciousness is that there's a theory that says that space has consciousness.
No,
Is that
well,
like roughly an
that's not the
accurate summary
theory.
of the argument?
No, good question. But see,
Okay, sure.
like
Yeah.
I was talking to
So what's the
good
evidence
question.
for
I was
this
talking to
hypothesis? That it's consciousness?
conscious question. You're asking questions. I like that, man. Listen, let me explain to you really quick.
Yeah.
At the atomic level, we in a periodic table of elements, we can calculate the atomic mass of every element. But
So
no
true, King.
physicist, no chemist, no physicist and no chemist can point to the atomic mass in the atom. Where is it?
Where is it? That's a
Now
great
this is a
question.
fact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
where is it?
Where is
And
it?
you know,
Exactly. And
even dare I
is
ask, like, you know, where is it within the medium that it's in? You know, what effect is it having on its medium? You know, it's not there either. And certainly it's not,
correct.
you know, traveling through the medium via, you know, Weyl curvature or other sort of space-time curvatures.
fields, which is all a bunch of false. It's all false.
Yeah. By
Now,
the way, I have a quick question.
yeah. So this.
How do you explain tides?
The entire human history.
I just want to know, how
Function
do
of
you explain
motion.
tides? Like, how does if space-time doesn't exist, then what are the gravitational waves traveling through?
Oh, good question. But let's go to you're talking about
Yeah,
the
let's kind of
the
hide that
cause
one
of
under
the
the rug.
motion.
Yeah, let's get back to that one.
No.
Never.
Let's don't, just don't run. Let me just explain it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a function of motion. Okay, and
Tides?
tides are just like tides is a function of motion as well. Because at the atomic
sure.
level,
Which
let's go
motion?
back to what you're trying. Well, you're trying to skip it. Let's go back to the periodic table of elements, all right? Because
so
the
true, yeah, we got to start with that to explain the tides.
yeah, you have to go to the atomic level. Now, at the hydrogen atom, take the simplest one, all right? What's a hydrogen atom to you? What does it consist of?
A proton, a neutron, and an electron.
Correct. So what is a proton and an electron to you?
What does a proton and a neutron do?
No, what's a proton and an electron? What are they? Are they solids?
No, they're plasmas. I'm not sure that it's coherent to talk about single particles as that.
Yeah, it is. It's coherent. Let me explain it to you.
My bad. My mistake. You're right, King. It is coherent. Totally.
Okay. Well, basically, they're three-dimensional holes in this fabric of space that we have. So the proton is 1,800 times bigger than the electron. Okay. The proton is a three-dimensional whirlpool like vortex, entering the center of it, going into higher dimensional space, looping back to the electron, which the electron is 1,800 times smaller. So let me give you an example. If the proton was in the middle of a football field, if the proton was in the middle of the football field, it would be the size of a bowling ball. All right. The electron would be at the end of the football field, the size of a sweet pea, small. So that's 1,800 times bigger. In between, we say that there's space. There's nothing there, but there's actually space flowing in a.
I could be I misunderstood, but are you saying a sweet pea is 1,800 times smaller than a bowling ball?
Yeah, my friend. Now you know.
I don't think that's true.
Well, you could calculate. It could be a basketball.
Strikes me as being like obvious.
Maybe I'm a little bit. Maybe I'm off by an inch or two.
Also, and just to get the thing out of the way, because Ian doesn't know as well as I do. Electrons don't have size.
Yeah, of course. There's you can actually measure the size of the electron. We know that.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. Not perfectly, but you can.
Okay, who's done this?
Well, the Russians have. But you don't know anything about
the Russians. There's 140 million of them. So, like, which ones?
Yeah. Well, don't get upset, Dr. Bliss. I know I got you upset last time. But let me just explain so these can understand.
I mean, like, look, if there was something that you loved and then somebody else came in and shat all over it for 20 minutes, you'd be upset too.
Okay, well, see, the problem is that I'm the founding father of anti-gravity. I told you that, Dr. Blitz. And the anti-gravity is coming from the electron itself. All right? So you don't know anything about that. But, if you read the vortex theory of atomic particles, or if you go to the website, vortextheory.com, you can learn all about it. But let's not go there. Wow. And also, I'm also the physicist who united general relativity and quantum mechanics. Okay? And to answer your question, this is due to space being a multidimensional substance. It is not void. So space can be stretched and can be compressed. Like a photon. A photon, you know what it is? All it is just compressed space. And
can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
What's the value of little g?
Little who g? You mean gravity?
Based. Yeah. Like in the gravitational equations. What's the value of little g?
Wait a minute.
Gravity and mechanics.
Let me ask you a better question, okay?
Okay.
What is the mechanism?
Let's hide that question under the rug too.
We're definitely not answering your question.
What is the mechanism, the physical mechanism for gravity at the atom?
It's a great question. It's space-time. Gravitational waves.
No, my brother, that's the ignorance. You're so ignorant. Everyone doesn't understand it. Can't answer.
You're right.
No
I
answer.
am ignorant.
Okay, let me show you.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, the proton, the space surrounding.
That's so
true. Don't get upset, my friend. The proton is the space that's less dense flowing into the proton is the exact mechanism for gravity. The space that's flowing out of the electron that is super dense is the mechanism for anti-gravity.
But how can space be dense?
Because of the electrostatic force. Let me finish. Because of the electrostatic force of the electron,
space in your hand?
you cannot. We never knew that it has an anti-gravity effect. It's like hearing a whisper.
Can you take space to a rave
and electrogen engine.
hand
Because
tricks
the
with it?
electrostatic force. So let me ask you a question, my friend. After I told you what I've told you, do you understand anything that I told you about the hydrogen atom? If me and you are not on the
Yeah, in
same
fact, I
page,
think
you're not going anywhere.
I think I'm actually like totally enlightened
Okay, so
now,
what is
and I'm like absolutely convinced. That's so true. Yeah, is it time for the
Oh, you're being
quiz?
facetious. You're being facetious. You're a smart guy.
No, I'm being
Listen,
very
what about
serious. This
the?
entire conversation, I've been very serious.
Okay, well, perfect. So is the proton 1,800 times bigger than the electron? Did you Google it? Why don't
No,
you
I think
Google
it's
it? Maybe
the.
you find
Oh,
out.
oh
You mean
sorry.
8
The
times?
proton is yeah.
Do you mean
That's
do you mean
that
like
was the claim,
massive,
right?
or do you
Yeah.
mean like larger?
Is
Yep,
the
I can row
size?
with the plane.
Is a
Oh,
photon
the answer is
is a
no.
photon? Wait a minute, watch this. Is a photon bigger than proton?
Well, who am I
Yeah,
supposed to believe? Because I
most of
have
them
two
are.
PhD
Okay, who said that? Who
physicists
said that? Mr.
agreeing.
Blitz? Dr. Blitz? You're a smart
Dr.
man.
Blitz says no, and Forever
Who's a
Cell
smart
says
man? No, Dr.
yes. Who am
Blitz
I
said.
supposed to believe?
Dr. Blitz said yes. He's a
This
smart man. He's
physics
smarter
stuff
than
is
you, I can tell.
confusing. I think I'm just gonna go become a Christian.
You know what?
Well,
That
that's
sounds
the
like a good
problem.
move. I mean, you could become a Catholic.
Yeah,
True.
Catholic is the only true religion that's
Oh yeah, I forgot that this guy's a Catholic, by the way.
100%. So,
How do you get around the problem of the Trinity?
excellent. Because the first thing that God did, he was create an image of himself. And through this image, he created the universe. So creation started through this image.
Can you say he created himself as an image of himself?
God himself. Yeah,
Did
Colossians 1:15-20. The first thing that God did was make an image of himself.
So there's two gods.
This is written. This is scripture. No, my friend, it's one God. It's begotten,
Well,
not created.
Well,
Meaning it's the
begotten
same.
means that
The same
begotten means that you had a child.
Homogeneous. It means.
What do you think
No, my
begotten
friend.
means?
Homogeneous, which is
What do you think-
the Nicene Creed.
What do you think begotten means?
The Nicene Creed that was begotten. The Nicene Creed means homogeneous. That's the word they use in
adorable.
Greek.
What do you think the word
Which means-
begotten means?
But let me finish, my friend. Let me finish.
Well, I'm
All right?
pointing
trying
out
to
the
explain
problem
it to
with what
but
you
you're-
just said. You said that one of
Okay,
them's begotten,
okay.
but
Give me
begotten
the
means
problem.
that
Give me the-
something's been like
give me the
fathered
problem.
or is produced.
Give me the. Well, it's not the way. Not the word that's used in Proverbs 8:22. Created. Okay.
So how
It's
did
not
it
the
come
word,
about?
okay? It's begotten because space is multidimensional. God
sure.
created God created an image of himself.
So there's
And who are we
two
to
gods.
question God? There's only one God.
Then he didn't create an image of himself.
Oh, yes, he did. The Bible doesn't lie. Men do.
There would be two gods.
So let's go to if you go to listen,
If I
write
create
this down.
an image of
Well,
my dog,
record-
there are either
record-
a dog and an image, or
record-
there are two dogs, but they're not one dog.
Listen, if you look yourself in the mirror, what is it? What is that? Is that an image of yourself?
It's a reflection.
All right, same, but it's an image, right? Of a reflection of an image, right?
No, the word image, as
Oh,
it's
come on,
usually
brother.
referred
Come
to
on,
in the
brother.
Bible,
No, you're-
refers to the
now
likeness
you're
of
fixing it.
something. No, I'm just telling you.
Okay. Okay. Well,
The
let's
image and
just go
reflection
back
are
to the
different
Bible.
words.
Okay, well, you can argue that with the Greek translation and the Hebrew translations directly with the Bible. I'm not going to argue with that. You do your own research. Never believe a man.
I actually
no,
do
wait a minute.
know
Never,
Greek or
never
Hebrew?
believe a man.
Wait,
do your own research.
Did you learn Greek or Hebrew?
That's so true.
Okay,
That's why
perfect.
I'll
So
just
let's go to
believe you.
Colossians 1:15-20.
So
Let's
I'm
do it
just
together.
curious.
Wait.
Did you learn Greek or
Let's
Hebrew?
go to, you want to go to the
Trevor
Bible
Soul,
like that? Let's do
Trevor
it, man.
Soul, aren't you a man? Aren't you a man, Trevor Soul?
Let me get in
Doesn't
front of
that
my
mean that I
computer,
should
man. This is a
disbelieve
good
you?
conversation.
Yeah. Do you
Repeat
know
that, my
what the
friend. I
word
can't-
for?
I'm in front of my computer. We're gonna.
Do you know what
Forever
the word
so
for
means?
images? Did
We're gonna
you
find out in the
bother to
Greek,
look
hold on.
up the? Well, we're starting in Genesis. That's when
Hold
God
on,
created.
Relax, calm down.
That's in Hebrew.
We're gonna find out. So let me
Genesis
just
is in Hebrew.
explain with the story while I look it up. So the first thing that God did was make an image of himself, right? The firstborn of all ages, the firstborn of all creation, as written in Scripture. Okay, and through this image, he created the whole universe, from Genesis to Revelations. All right, that includes you and I. And guess what? You and I are living in this image. We are breathing in this image. We are created for this image. That's why every single Catholic Mass, all over the world, in every language, we recite, through him, in him, with him. Okay?
Sure.
So are you an ex-Catholic?
Are you going to address what the Bible actually says or no?
What do you want to know, brother? I mean, anything you want to know, I'll answer.
I've started pretty easy. We're asking, do you know the Greek or Hebrew words for image, and do you know what they actually mean?
Yeah, I wrote. Let me open my studies. I'm in front of my computer. I did all this already.
I'm sure you did.
So that we can be on the same page. Yeah, of course I did. I'm not dumb.
You sound dumb.
Okay, well, I'm not dumb.
So, well,
I'm the founding
we'll agree to disagree on that. So there's a word in Hebrew. Well, you didn't do that. That's why you're a dummy. You only think
yes,
that you
I did, my friend. I
so,
did. Not special relativity.
So demuth, just pay attention. Demuth in Hebrew means what? That's the word in Genesis when it says that God created in his image, and it's also the same word when it says Adam created a son in his image. Do you know what that means?
Give me 1 second, brother. Let me get on my same page. Well, let's try this one. Okay. So let's see. The firstborn of all the firstborn. What does that mean? Let's see. The firstborn of all creation. Colossians 1:15-17. What does that mean?
We're waiting for the actual word.
Okay,
so the third word in Colossians 1:15 is what?
He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all ages of all creation.
And what's the Greek word?
For in him all things were created in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible.
Are you gonna pay attention or not? Listen, what's the Greek word and what does it mean?
Okay, well, the Greek word for firstborn, foremost, is protokos.
I'll never answer. I'm asking the word for image. Just to be clear, this should be the easiest question all day because we imported this fucking word into English.
The Greek word for image is icon. It's not a copy. It's not a representation.
It's where we get the word icon. It's where we get the word icon in English. It is a representation.
Complete expression of the invisible God.
But that's not in the lexicon.
I'm sorry, brother. You got the wrong translation.
Well, I'm in the Greek lexicon, not a translation.
Well, I'll tell you what. The Greek word for image is what?
I just told you it's icon.
It doesn't mean it's not a copy. It is not a representation. It's the exact, perfect, complete expression.
It doesn't actually say that. I can just show you I'll just show you in the lexicon what it does actually say.
Let's keep going.
I forgot this guy. This guy knows more than the lexicographers who actually wrote the lexicon. That is impressive. I'll give him that one. The fact that he knows more about Greek than the people who wrote the biblical Greek lexicon is pretty impressive. I'll shrink this down though so that you can read it right now. So at the beginning of the definition, what it says is not what you said actually. Can you read A? Part A?
I can't see it. Hello? I can't see it, man. At my age, I need glasses. With my glasses, I can't see it.
You can't see the screen?
No, brother, I can't.
Well, it seems like a problem for you. Everyone else can read the screen.
Well, I got a big TV screen, so I can read it off my TV screen.
So the image is icon. The image of one in whom the likeness of anyone is seen. Doesn't mean an exact representation of anything. It can mean a copy of something. It can mean something made in the likeness of something else. But it doesn't actually mean that there's exact essence.
Nothing contradicts.
The exact essence of anything that just left your mouth. And you're trying to use this word to say that God basically made a carbon copy of himself, but there's not two, there's one somehow.
No, I didn't say that. That's coming out of your mouth, a carbon copy.
Okay, did God copy himself or not?
No, but everything you said exactly is what I meant. Okay, and I said. So there's nothing that contradicts what I said.
How is there one God, not two?
Huh?
How's there one God, not two?
Perfect. Good question. Let's keep going. We'll show what the first... Let's go to the 11th word.
I'm actually just gonna show you because
That answers your question.
In the Hebrew text,
the firstborn of all.
What we find is that
let me speak.
being made in the image of somebody just means you have
creation.
a physical like similarity, right? It says likeness,
My
similitude,
friend, why are you running?
experience.
Why are you running? Go to the
Someone
11th word.
that
I went to the
appeared
third.
like.
Let's go to the 11th word.
I'm just giving you the definitions of the words.
The firstborn of all creation.
Like, did you
now give me the definition
you
for
don't
the
think
firstborn
that,
of all creation?
You don't think that the words like in the lexicon are important?
Please give it to me in Greek. The firstborn of all creation. Let's continue.
Wait, do you think we don't know what firstborn
words out of
means?
context.
Well,
No,
this
yeah,
is actually
let me see
this
what
is
you
going to be
know.
a huge problem for you, because if Jesus is the
Kitios.
firstborn, that means he
Firstborn
was
of all
created.
creation. This is the supreme.
So he's not
preeminence
eternal?
over all creation.
Wait, is he not eternal?
Yeah. Okay. There's that. Of
Wait,
course, you're coming out of your mouth is perfect.
Okay, so if Jesus was eternal, how was he born?
Begotten. Beget.
How is he begotten if he always existed?
Exactly.
So he wasn't begotten.
That's the question you have to ask.
Oh no, Jesus was never begotten. Jeez, oh Pete.
You don't. No, begotten, not created.
I said begotten. Do you know what begotten means?
Okay, so amen. Now let's go back to the firstborn.
So
Don't run.
You actually just didn't address.
Let me
firstborn. You actually just said firstborn is the wrong word because you said he was begotten, not born. So the question. So the question that we need you to answer is, what does it mean to be the firstborn?
All right, let's mix some science and religion together.
Just waiting for an answer.
The vortex theory.
What does it mean to be firstborn?
Okay, well, let's. I'm glad you asked that question. Okay, the firstborn of all creation, protokos pasis kitios. Okay, this is a little supreme preeminence over all creation.
I said, what does it mean to be firstborn?
Well, just like in David, it doesn't mean the firstborn person. Because in David, he was the last. He was the last.
Just waiting for you to give an answer.
When God uses the firstborn in the Bible, He uses it as a supremacy.
Just waiting for an answer.
Am I right or am I wrong? Am I lying or am?
Unless he came into existence, and Jesus is supposed to be eternal.
That's not the question. The question is how does God use firstborn
I'm not answering a question.
in the Bible? How does God use firstborn in the Bible?
It uses firstborn in the entire semantic range.
Of the scripture. Let me teach you.
He uses firstborn to refer to actual animals that are born and actual humans that are born. So in Exodus 22, Exodus 13,
that's not a good enough answer.
Firstborn is literally used to refer to the one that opens the womb.
Stop reading ChatGPT.
Want me to show you?
Oh
I'll
my
just
God.
show you.
He's having like a mental episode.
It's actually just in there. It's actually just in Exodus. You can look it up.
God uses
I'll just show you. It's in
Bible
Exodus.
As a supreme.
We could do 22:19.
Okay.
Should be or 20. I'm sorry. 22:29 should have the reference.
Anyway, I win the argument. So guess what? Keep going. Let's go to the next.
You certainly you didn't win a whole lot.
Just record the conversation, record the video, and replay it next time because that's what Dr. Blitz does, and he loses every time.
That's certainly what's going to happen.
All right,
listen, you're a winner.
Now let's talk about the image of the invisible God.
Well, I've been trying to do that, but you actually didn't want to engage, and so
you're the one who's japping away. You're reading off
around
ChatGPT.
Over there.
You're just a ChatGPT guy.
I'm actually just reading.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. You keep looking at the. You're just reading away what is writing.
Just reading you from the lexicon.
Yeah, brother. So, whatever you say.
The firstborn son. What are we supposed to learn from this?
The firstborn son. Now you're getting there.
Firstborn of your son
doesn't mean the firstborn son.
Well, it does.
Was David the firstborn?
No.
God called David the firstborn.
That's a different story. That's firstborn of Yahweh, not firstborn of his father.
The Bible, that's what he does.
I know. It's in
that's what God does.
I know. Just pay attention. I do. The firstborn here refers to the firstborn of what?
God, you know what, brother? You're just ignorant.
It says
I can't believe it.
Of your sons.
You're just a ChatGPT guy.
Of your sons.
Right? I just told you what God does.
It's just right there.
You don't believe it? Prove me wrong.
Of your sons.
Let's go to Proverbs 34.
Let's go
to Proverbs 34.
It's just right there. That's what it says.
Anywhere you want to go. Malachi 5:2, Psalms 89:27. I can prove it to you all day. Isaiah 9:6.
Yeah.
Okay, I know I can.
So,
I can.
I'll pull up the chapter. It might be more clear if you read some of the context.
No, brother, you just
So,
lost. You cannot
I'll-
prove to me that God
I'll
does
help
not
you
use the
out,
firstborn
actually.
in the Bible as a
So,
form
you
of
shall
supreme.
not revile God or curse a leader of your people. You shall not delay in making offerings from the fullness of your harvest and from the outflow of your presses.
Okay,
The
I'll be quiet.
firstborn of your
Whenever you're ready, let
sons,
me speak. I'll be quiet.
the firstborn of your sons you shall give to me. You shall do the same with your oxen, with your sheep. 7 days it shall remain with its mother, and on the 8th day you shall give it to me. You shall be consecrated people to me, so on and so forth. So this is a human being, right?
Can I speak now?
Well, see, I don't know. Maybe you didn't make it through grade school, but
tell me when you're ready.
The way conversations work is when I stop talking and then ask you a question, that means I'm actually expecting you to speak.
But are you going to interrupt me?
I'm waiting for an answer.
Okay, good. Please don't interrupt me.
If you don't answer the question, I'll interrupt you.
Coach Steve, can someone tell me why Coach Steve from Big Mouth is engaging in sophistry on our panel right now? What the fuck is this? This is, yeah, go for it, man.
Okay, so let's go back to the word firstborn. God uses firstborn.
Wait, so you're not going to address
as the firstborn of
Exodus?
Wait a minute. Are you letting me speak? Are you letting me speak?
But I read you a verse in Exodus.
Because you wouldn't let me answer the last time.
And I asked
Brother,
you about it.
All you do is ask questions. You don't want to hear the truth.
I'm just trying to get you to engage in the point.
As a chat, listen, if we're going to have a chat,
maybe you're not understanding right now. So
it's not a one-way dialogue, my friend.
What you're saying is that the Bible uses a word.
No, there you go again.
Only in one particular way, and I'm trying to figure out how it's being used in this passage here. So obviously, there are words in the Bible that can be used in multiple ways. This is one of those words. Firstborn can be referring to multiple things. Here, it refers to a human being, and actually refers to animals too. You understand that, right?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Firstborn of all creation, firstborn from the dead. What's the difference?
You're not going to answer the question then, huh?
Oh, see, you can't answer that. See, because that right there destroys your narrative. That destroys your concept. That destroys.
What'd you say, Blitz?
Oh, I gotta run. I'm gonna go see Les Mis in theaters.
Oh shit! Yeah, fuck, it's already 10 till 3. Thank you, Blitz. Have fun.
One day more.
Well,
another day, another destiny.
It's almost 3 already. So I guess we'll play around.
So then, what's the difference between the firstborn of all creation?
How long do we want to bat around this goofball? Is it time to close it?
I'm fine. Moving on to the next one. This dude's like a he's like a lol cow.
Yeah, I don't think he's well. Let's see. Was it named for? I think for Evercell. Let's see. Good enough. All right, it's 10 till 3, friends, and we could go later, but I think we're all on schedules. Mucho sorry for the late start. We are getting closer and closer to the actual start time. I think we're weeding out about most of the bugs here. But Davius, thank you so much. Holy fucking shit. 20 unapologetic memberships. There have been 40 gifted memberships today. It's unbelievable. Fucking huge.
Huge.
Gigantic W. Damn. Okay. I'm going to have to... Whew. Thank you so much for that. Lycon, thank you for the super chat. Yo, gang, is Ian not alleged anymore? Is that legal?
I'm just Ian now. Just Ian. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know why it says Ian.
Well, we can fix it. No Silk, thank you for the super chat. If there's a unapologetic without tech issues, that would be strong evidence we're in a simulation. You know what? We have quite a few. I would say the ones as of recent are literally all my fault. I'm just been working out some of the bugs. It's funny because every time I think it's working, I find something new that needs tweaked. But we're gonna get there. it's been working for my streams because I'm not collaborating with other people when I stream. So we're trying to get the collaboration, stream bugs worked out. Space Lord, it says tech issues. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. Amazing Bill O'Reilly reference. One of the best. Classic. Scott Duke says, please recommend commentary or book about Gospel of Mark that does best treatment of dating, authorship, and historicity issues. Okay. There's been a lot of books on Mark. One of the most famous commentators on the Gospels, as of the recent time, is like James Dunn. So let me see what he's done. Did he do Mark? James D.G. Dunn is his name. He's really respected in New Testament studies and in. Let's see. Did he do one on Mark though? Oof. Yeah, he did. This should be good. He did the critical and exegetical commentary for Mark in the International Critical Commentary set. It's a good one. Now, I've got the James Dunn. Shit, what commentary do I have? I forget which set I've got his. Let's see. Also, the Yale Anchor Bible commentary set's really good. I'm not sure who did the latest one on Mark. I've got it back here, but mine's the old one. I think it was done by Fitzmyer. And Fitzmyer is amazing, but he's kind of old. The other one that you probably would want to look at, let's see. Don't get Craig Keener's commentary. You don't want that. Craig Keener's he's popular right now, but I wouldn't trust his commentary. Some of his logic's off. Also try R.T. France, the Gospel of Mark in the New International Greek Testament Commentary. R.T. France. I think you'll like both those. Those are really good gets. Let's see. Ensifrium. Professor Dave has gotten pretty unhinged and is going down the anti-Semitism adjacent path on his socials. I think some people have accused him of that. My understanding of the situation is I'm pretty sure is he not married to a Palestinian woman?
Well, I thought he himself was Palestinian.
Oh, he might be. Maybe I'm yeah. But like you're allowed to have an opinion that is against the Israeli government. Like, I'm not anti-Semitic, but I can tell you what Netanyahu's doing and what his supporters are doing are fucking horrific. So, like...
Yeah, I think... I don't know enough about this to make a comment. I'm not sure if there's, like, specific comments that people are talking about. Is he saying, like, the Jews are out here doing... Like, if he's saying that, well, I think that's pretty bad. But, if he's saying, like, Israel did this thing that they just did...
Yeah.
You won't be able to convince me that that's anti-Semitism.
Yeah. Like always, when somebody in our community is kind of accused of something, hey, show us the evidence. If he actually is saying something horrible, I'd like to know about it. But I'm not really, until I see it, I'm not really sure I have an opinion on it. Kane says, wait, the Mega browser has an ad blocker built in? Has someone told the Mike Pillow guy? Nobody has told Mike Pillow. And they should have, a long time ago, actually. Gregarious Style? That's not right. Dilete? That's a long one. Hey, thank you for the super chat. You guys are easy on the eyes and beautiful to listen to. Rock hard for Doug and wet for share. Well, shit. Thank you. Appreciate that. Big W. And Gray says, what's up, gang? I got a question for Ian. How come in your TikToks from 2023, your voice sounds so much deeper than it does in modern times?
Because I was deeply insecure at those times. Yeah, I don't know. I was working through some stuff, but I emerged. I'm probably gonna delete. I'm planning on making some videos on my TikTok, and I think with that, I'm probably gonna go through and delete like a lot of my old videos.
Yeah, it's way overdue for me to actually start making videos again too. Hard to find time over the summer.
I also want to debate that like Jesus and whatnot LARPer. This guy is like a dog shit debater.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanna like wax this guy, but uh, he he only replies to like videos. So I'm gonna make a video talking about how all of his arguments that he's made against people like Parker and against that like one Nate guy, that his arguments suck.
Yeah.
And that they're self-defeating even.
Lycon says Jane, or I think it's pronounced Jan, really wants his imaginary friend to be true. I also want my 2D waifu to be true. I guess we are both unhappy today. And Ian not being alleged today is a crazy lore drop. Is it because he shaved? It's not actually. In fact, give me a second. We'll fix this real quick. There we go. Did it change on screen? We'll worry about that later. Thank you, though. We'll have to make sure his name always appears properly. Serial Dude says, God shows as always. Wait, good show. Whew, you scared me. Good show as always, boys. Any thoughts about Majesty of Reason converting back to Catholicism? So many fucking comments on this. Wow.
Yeah.
To me, anyone can convert to anyone can be convinced of something. It's always important to ask yourself, if like a philosopher gets convinced, what do the bulk of philosophers believe? Not one of them. What are you gonna say, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's a good point. You should always be fair to the evidence. I think everybody's goal here is to try to believe true things. That's my goal too. He's gonna make like a 15-hour video where he explains it's like the cumulative case for Catholicism. I'm interested in seeing what the evidence is. I'm interested in seeing what the responses to the evidence is. I think that it's, I think obviously the evidence is worth engaging with. I think he's a smart guy. I'm particularly interested in how he is going to attempt to resolve the critiques that he himself has published of divine simplicity. That these are like devastating critiques of divine simplicity. And he's kind of been on like the front lines of that. And to me, like the arguments are just airtight. Like there's kind of no way out of it for divine simplicity. It's like the modal collapse stuff that if you have the simple being whose existence is necessary and his existence is identical to his act of creation, well, then his act of creation is necessary. And the way that they try to weasel out of it is by saying, well, his act of creation is external to him. Whatever the fuck that means. His like will to create is external to him, whatever the fuck that means. But then that means that God as an entity doesn't explain his act of creation or his intention. So I don't know. I'm curious. Like this is like Schmidt's critique. I'm curious how he's gonna like attempt to get around this.
He'll be back eventually. Space Lord says, it's kind of funny that the miracle of Fatima took place at a city named after the daughter of Muhammad. Actually, it's kind of fun. You'd think there'd be a Mohammedan miracle there, but apparently he wasn't strong enough to make anything happen. He fucking split the moon, but can't make the sun dance. Fact says, Free Felix, I am sorry, Fact. We can't. It's almost immoral to beat up on Felix. He shouldn't be in these spaces. I'm not trying to insult the man. He's not prepared for what happens here. Carbo says, Doug has blessed the horizontal stream for obvious reasons. It aligns with his stratigraphy doctrine. Stone for Doug. Well, listen, actually, if you'll notice, Sharon stands upright. I'm just saying. So there's room for everybody. And Chris, you don't go into court debating who committed a crime. There's one solution to that question on trial. His own analogy cooks him. So
true.
Also whiny much? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if the opposing counsel, if the defense is able to spin up like a bunch of plausible scenarios for what might have happened, then you probably shouldn't convict the person.
100%. Game guy, remember, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt too. If you're convicted of murder, game guy, thank you for a $10 super chat. Leave it to a Christian to bring up the origins of the universe and then complain that atheists are forcing them to answer the question of how did the universe begin. True. It's weird that they think we actually have to have an answer to this, or else theism is true. I don't get that at all. NKU says, is it possible that the universe returned or returned back to a no boundary state, and for there to be an infinite sequence of time and space merging and splitting. That's way above my head. That'd be like a Dr. Blitz question. Do you even know what he's saying there, Ian?
Well, I get that he's talking about like the no boundary proposal, that it's like the Hartle-Hawking state, and could it ever return back to the Hartle-Hawking state? I have no idea.
Yeah. Dr. Fudge, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Zarkon demands fiberglass Blitz.
That's funny.
You can't escape it. But there's an inside joke I don't know about now.
Yeah. The one guy was pronouncing zircon as Zarkon.
Oh. Well,
these Zarkon crystals.
They got us cooked, remember? We're just pronouncing it wrong. We have to update. Face Lord, good to see you. It says, I converted to Shakerism after watching my pepper shaker float. God's real, y'all. I'll be the 4th member of the true faith. Oh, boy. Is Shakerism related to the Salt Girl? Because if so...
I think so. I think that it might be... I think that the two are like inseparable from each other. Or maybe Shakerism is like a denomination.
Actually, it is a denomination, but I think he's joking. He's making a wordplay. Good to see you, Reverend Nate. Karen, thank you for the super chat. Mr. Debate You on Anything is just trying to cite Robert Gentry without saying the name, yeah? I don't know.
I don't know who Robert Gentry is.
Yeah, I mean, I can Google it real quick. Hold on. That last guy, though, he did come up with a theory of everything.
Yeah, good for him.
He's an
What
actor?
if everything was just like... What if space was conscious and also everything?
Exactly. This needed some good shower thoughts. I don't know. I'm sorry, Karen. I don't think I get the Robert Gentry reference. I did look him up. He's an actor, but I don't really know what that means. Liquidu says, I'd like to imagine Matthew's phone is just trying to run away from him somehow, and he keeps power walking towards it before losing track of it again. That is one abused phone. The way that he shouts at that thing. Kurt says Matthew is stranded on an island after becoming shipwrecked following his latest bender. How he has service to make this call is a real miracle here. That might be the case. He's really out. He's down bad. I don't know where he's at, but someone needs to phone help for him. Game Guy says today's special episode unapologetic. Oops, all Blitz.
Yeah, Blitz was taking a beating.
Yeah, I don't know why his computer specifically just is not behaving. It was a weird something. There must be some sort of leak that he's susceptible that we're not susceptible. Obelisk says, Ian, what's the A theory argument with infinite regress you mentioned earlier? And Blitz, what are your thoughts on it? Well, we lost Blitz.
Yeah, so I think the current iteration of it is probably something like this. If time begins to exist, then there's a timeless phase of reality that changes into a temporal phase of reality. But everything that changes is in time. But a timeless phase of reality isn't in time. So time can't begin to exist because it would lead to this timeless state changing. But, because it changes, this timeless state would be in time. And that's a contradiction, so.
Again, to God, a circle and a sphere are no different. Matthew knows this. We are witnessing the power and knowledge of God, gentlemen. Actually, the funny thing is, and Ian, I know you've heard this before. Why do they keep saying, well, from God's viewpoint, it looks like a circle? First of all, it doesn't. But second of all, why the fuck do we care? Does it say anything about God's viewpoint here? It doesn't.
The fuck? God has a viewpoint?
Yeah, how could that even be possible from God's viewpoint?
Does he have a spatial vision too?
If God is everywhere, then he should see every side of the sphere at once. He's not like standing over the earth. What is...
Yeah, that's wacky.
These people are wild. Timothy, thank you for the super chat, says, knowledge, reality, and value is super easy to read, and the introduction is genuinely funny as fuck. Thanks for the recommendation. Oh,
yay, I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Yeah, knowledge, reality, and value is probably the best philosophy introduction on the market. I think Michael Huemer, I think he's wrong about a good deal of things, but I think that kind of like the cornerstone of his worldview is that your beliefs should be intuitive. And his beliefs are intuitive for most people. So I think it's a good starting point. He's also a clear writer.
That super helps, because if you're doing a difficult subject and the writer's difficult already, noble Athenian. Phew. My first live. Hey, welcome in. Just wanted to say that discovering you three has been an absolute revelation. Well, fucking hey, we appreciate that. Thank you for all you do. Love from the UK. Well, hell yeah. Have a great time over at the other side of the pond. We're glad that you tuned in. I suspect where you live, you have less of the religious crazies, but hope we can help at least. And Karen back again. Thank you. Says the Council of Daves disavows caller Dave. Oh no. I'm sorry that got put on you. He has been calling into atheist shows for years with these impenetrable claims. Honestly, it was weird. I'm sad he waited all that time just to realize he didn't actually believe in a god, and he was weird. But I don't think I've seen him before. Kurt coming in again. Thank you so much. To be fair, I also believe that 2 + 2 = 5. I just have to remind myself every so often. Also, down with Apache. Kurt, listen, we're gonna have to be fair. Nginx, I think, is better, but listen, Apache has served us so well since what, like 1995? Listen, I'm just saying, we're standing on the shoulders of giants here, all right? Christopher says the belief that 1 × 1 = 1 has been stagnant for centuries. Therefore, Terrence Howard is right. Oh shit.
True.
Oh,
they've made zero progress.
Forever cell is referring to how long that single brain cell needs to last him. He doesn't have much going on there. It's like the inside of an atom, mostly empty space. Mike KB says review of Dr. Moon's vortex theory shows it rejects relativity, Higgs physics. Key experiments lack replication, not peer-reviewed, sketchy credentials. Oh shit. Well, that's what happens when, you have a rogue scientist, right?
Fork found in kitchen.
Always look for the consensus. Miko, my friend, thank you for the 20-pound chat. Christians can justify anything with the Bible: genocide, slavery, corporal punishment, serving soup at luncheon, anything. I actually like a good 3-bean soup at a luncheon. Need to change my pay card on this. I'll talk to you in 3 weeks. Took me that long last time. Well, shit, Miko. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. And listen, no worries. You got take care of business. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, and we'll be here when you're ready. Lupador says, would you challenge the TikToker Jesus and Whatnot to a debate? He tries to call out everyone to debate, but never someone educated. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep, I've already DM'd him. I've gotten no response. I think Blitz has DM'd him. I think Blitz has also gotten no response. At this point, I'm probably going to start making videos about him until he stops running and debates me.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, until we can get them in the ring, can't do much about it. They're just claiming that they want to debate. Mike, thank you for Super Chat. Tried to find any comments from Professor Dave criticizing Jewish people. Only found him criticizing the Israeli government for their genocide. And honestly, that's kind of what I expected. Didn't expect much after that. So, if you see something, say something, though.
Yep. That's all it is.
I think that's all it is, to be fair. And this
if that's all it is, then it's like, it depends on the nature of the critique, right? The critique should be fair, but there's a genocide going on.
Right.
If the substance of what he's saying is that there's a genocide going on, well, that's just true.
Yeah. Daniel De La Noche says, just want to say that so many Christians say to God a day is like 1,000 years, to imply that God doesn't know how to tell time. It's actually kind of crazy, because that's the first thing he does in Genesis, is create days, so he can track time, and the stars and moons, so that they can track time. So that's the first fucking thing he did. The other thing is saying that a day is like 1,000 years to God doesn't mean that a day is 1,000 years. That just means it's a metaphor. To God, because he's timeless, a day is nothing to him. A day just feels like thousands of years. He's timeless. And at no point in time would it mean that God uses a day to describe 1,000 years when he talks. That's preposterous. It's ridiculous. It's a cope. But nevertheless, friends, that's the end of the stream. And we really appreciate being here. Next week, we'll be at it again. And listen, I'm dedicated to fucking being on time next week. We're going to make it happen. You can blame me. I promise it's all my fault. But we thank you so much, friends. Remember, there's lots of other shows going on today. So bounce around on TikTok, YouTube. Make sure you support everybody. We